The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it goes now comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
Yes, my peeps. Want to say big up to all the person. Let me just put up melting pot here. Right in the studio, melting pot. All right, my brother. Before blessing spot, I want to, greet all the persons in the chat. Of course, Patel Krushank. Bless up yourself. All right. Wish you the best. All the persons in the chat, wishing you a prosperous new year. Right. Dorothy McCoy, Carla Banks, right? Falmouth Girl, bless up, Freedom, right? Anthony Moody, Morika King 6464, blessed Friday. Morning, Mystic Sensation, Melting Pot, and the family. Same goes to you. All right, let us, Beverly 975, George Beckford, big up yourself, George. Miss Jam Upton, right? Devon Fletcher, all right? Daphne Bryan, Rennie Swaby, right? Okay, Diane Freshmundle, bless up yourself, Christopher, right? And Gloria, right? Bijan, all right? Bless upon yourself, all my peeps, right? Now, let me just have Melting Pot to meet and greet his people. Melting Pot.
Wagwan, brother. Everything
Bless you,
good?
the mic sounds strong, man. Wagwan.
Well, everything back on track, man.
All
Them
right.
can't stop you, Can't
Sounds
stop
good.
no matter what them try.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
All
well, as
right.
you know, the new year rolling pan with. Yeah, we have to big up the people them as good job for the support for them give it. Enough shout out to Reggae Girl, Star
Yes.
Girl, long time, yeah. And big up to all them other fans like Palmouth Girl, and them UK fans, yeah, man. Big up to because don't know I'm gonna keep the show intriguing. Because when we have our people behind the scene, but within the scene, so we have to deliver. Yeah. So I'm gonna hope say 2026 come find all of my fans them enjoying the best of health and what life has to offer them. In
Blessings,
spite
my
of
brother.
everything, the journey and the struggle, we have to keep it going. Yeah. So with all the support that we get, that's enough respect. And big up to you, the host, Sir Lord Byron, and our soon.
All right.
Our
Blessings.
technical director will soon be in the house as usual.
Yes.
So enough respect. And enough shout out to them people down in the ground zero in Jamaica,
All right.
Because we know the things stay, Yeah, and
Yeah.
like say, well, then why it gone, I will forgot. Say everything, remain the same because nothing change. Because the
Exactly.
people are lethargic and I deal with some form of victimization and all these things and suppression, people them down there still a suffer. So we have to say, enough love and respect to, for hold on, because right now, you don't know say things have to change. Yeah.
Yes.
And better must come one day. So just keep the faith and back the floor to the host.
All right. Blessings, my brother. Blessings. Now, people, the issue of corruption is really and truly is getting even more serious. And when we think that, okay, all right, 2025 showing us signs that, we are going to bite into the corruption and deal with it, right? We have seen the end in 2025, right, as it relates to Hugh Craskery, right, now in the crosshairs of the of investigators, right, and now put into the judiciary, right, which is long overdue. You Cross Kerry, along with Andrew Holness, right, Paul Cheng Young, right, Dan Crawford, they are the ones who cripple the Jamaican economy. They know it. They know it. Deep down, they know it. They know that the damage that the economy faces, right, as it relates to the 90s financial meltdown, right, they are the ones who have done it. They know that. And that is one of the reasons why they make sure they are locked tight when it comes to the FinSAC report, when it comes to the CRA report, right? And we are saying this is not transparency. This couldn't be transparency, right? You can't be sabotaging taxpayers like that. And one of the reasons why I say sabotage is to the fact that taxpayers paid for the report. It is taxpayers' money that paid for the report. It's not your money, right? It's not your money at all. And so then to have a completed report, you can't say that the report has not been completed now, because we have seen charges being mounted. So having said that, right, and which you know, the relevant investigators have been a part of the process, right, to complete the process up until this time that we bring about charges. So it is for the government of the day, right, need to be transparent, fair and balanced, right, and show the report, but they will not show the report. Why they will not show the report? Because the report is all about them. Do you believe if Andrew Holness, let us think about this, and I want every single person to be thinking of this. Do you believe if you have Andrew Holness into a live debate, can tell a vicious lie on Mark Golding? Think of it, people. And all the lies that they can tell about FinSAC, but yet about the 90s financial meltdown, but yet hold on the FinSAC report. Remember, you know, it is not the People's National Party in government. You know. They have the whole, right, on the report. If it was the People's National Party put in power, right, that report would have been released, right? So then here it is. If the Jamaica Labour Party been blaming FinSAC, blaming the People's National Party to say that the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich, right, it is the People's National Party done that as it relates to so-called FinSAC, as how they put it, right? Now, FinSAC, as I said, wasn't the problem. FinSAC was a solution to their problem in terms of what they had done, right? And where now they are selling that narrative in talking about high interest rate. High interest rate did not bring about the financial meltdown, right? High interest rate did not bring about the financial meltdown. All the banks that involve in criminality, Central National Bank, right? Paul Cheng Young, right? Eagles Merchant Bank, right? Including Paul Cheng Young and Associates that now converted to SSL. Those were the banks that collapsed. And one of the reasons why they collapsed, because unsecured loan and the amount of robbery, right, that they had undertaken in terms of robbing investors. That is what caused the financial meltdown. And coupled with that, right, these persons also involved in holding cash plus and you name it, right? So it was just crazy. Now, let us get into some new things as it relates to, and I'm calling upon the Auditor General, because this is, let me just put up Legris, because big up yourself, Legris, right? People like up the live and share it out, right? Now, thank you, Legris. Thank you a lot. Now, let me say this, my people. 2026, right? It's not going to be like 2025. This is the year of judgment. Let me say that plain, categorically clear. Now, I have seen over the Jamaica Labour Party government, right, came out with a figure as it relates to refurbishing a particular school. And I am saying this because I want the Auditor General, and I am happy that the People's National Party, right, have the oversight as it relates to government expenditures, as it relates to the PAS account, the Public Administration account, right? The People's National Party, right, members of Parliament, right, the opposition, you understand, they are the one who are responsible to provide oversight. And I'm asking the People's National Party opposition to take a look at this that I'm going to show, right? Now, I realize that whenever one of the things that cause us to have $3 trillion, right, unaccounted for, right, is the overcasting, right, of projects that done by the Jamaica Labour Party, right? We have been getting a lot of beating as a result of these criminals, right, through nepotism, cronyism. And I want to ask, before I put up this, who is getting this contract? And I want to know if this has been put out to tender so that more than one persons can bid on this. So let me put it up and show you, people, what is going on. Let me put up this. Look at this refurbish as it relates to the William Nib High School. Let me just get into it. Right, people? We are not going to allow them to get away, right, with these things, So may I call it out from early. I am calling this out from early. So let me show it. See it here? William Nib High School to reopen in phases amid 400 million hurricane damage. 400 million, $400 million hurricane damage. Now, William Nib Memorial High School in Trelawny plans to reopen on January 5th on a phase despite preliminary repairs. Estimating now, repair this, repair job this, of 400 million following the destruction caused by Hurricane Melissa. School authorities hope that by Thursday, January 8th, all 1,100 students will be back in class. Open quote, we suffered significant damage from Hurricane Melissa. 8 of 9 classrooms lost their roofing and windows and doors are damaged. So now let me ask a question now. Let me ask a question. Right? Based on what the principal is saying here. This is the principal, right? Is giving an account of the damages. And let us read into it, people. I want you to read into it. We suffered significant damage from Hurricane Melissa. What is the significant damage? 8 of 9 classrooms lost their roofing and windows and doors are damaged. The electrical system suffered major damage. Principal Laverne Wright told the Gleaner. Then let me ask a question. Did that really cost $400 million? No, sir. No, sir. So it look like 2026 is about turning up the stealing.
Yeah.
It looked like 2026 is about turning up the stealing. Hold on there. Let me get into it. He said the repair estimate was communicated to him by the Ministry of Education. Now, people, let me tell you this now. Jamaica Labour Party in the history of our politics have been robbing monies from the Ministry of Education. It's more than 5 ministers had gone to prison. Someone should have bring research a document to make the people them see. Oh, me forgot that, man. Oh my goodness. I me always have me thing in a chronological sequence. Oh, me have that. You understand? Me should have that for show the people, more than 5 ministers in it. Right? Now, when we look at this, and we have Ruel Reid, right, who is now in the judiciary, I want to know who is getting this contract. I want to know about the procurement procedure. The last time I went and jumped, on a lockdown jump. So it is not like we can run in and jump and find out now, you understand, how the process go in terms of procurement. On lock that, on no want nobody see that, on the sound of teeth in government. If it is all about transparency, right? The PNP did not do that. The PNP did not do that. The PNP open transparency. Right? Why you don't want decent, ordinary citizen query all of these things? Because we care now. Hear what the principal is saying now. We suffered significant damage from Hurricane Melissa. 8 of 9 classrooms lost their roofing and windows, and doors are damaged. The electrical system suffered major damage. Right, Principal Laverne, right, totally cleaner. Then all of that caused them fuel damage there. When I cause significant damage, cost $400 million. $400 million. Come on, man, you're kidding me, man. He said the repair estimate was communicated to him by the Ministry of Education, which has also promised to provide enough tents to cover the 8 classrooms currently without roofs. Expressing urgency to resume teaching, Wright said, I am anxious, especially for those with external exam right around the corner. There are gaps which needed to be filled. Let me just take away this document, stuff from share this document. Right? $400 million. No, sir. Something not look right, sir. Something not look right, sir. So we want to know how this procurement go. Right? Because if Andrew Honest, right, is dealing about the rebuilding, right, I'm not saying anything wrong in terms of fixing up the school. You know, yes, the school must be fixed up. But is that the real cost? Right? That look really expensive, right? To me, extremely expensive. That seems like something that over budgeted. And that is what is beating us. You remember, you know, how Cornwall Regional started. Cornwall Regional started at 2 billion. Then it goes to 4 billion. Then it goes to 9 million. Then a protracted cost, you understand, looking at over now $23 to $24 billion. Right? That is all, you understand, the corruption them started, you know. Over billion, and all of them something there, you know. And then guess what? Now the Auditor General having problem because the Auditor General can't see any form of purchase order, invoice, or certain things, right? You can't, look here. The appropriation account, they don't want to submit it, right? And no reconciliation being done on these situations. So we have serious problem here. Now, this is the Prime Minister. I don't understand. Here it is that you are now approving a fat chunk, $400 million as it relates to renovation. But look on you now in a parliament. Here you now in a parliament. Here you now in a parliament. Watch it now. Here you in a parliament, Prime Minister. Let me see this. Here you in a part. Oh, we can hold on. What happened to this thing here? Let me see if we can bring it up back, people. Here, Andrew Honest in a parliament. Okay, a Apaya. All right, hold on, people. Here, Andrew Honest in a parliament, people.
Across the island, our first priority has been to deliver food, water, and medical support to every affected community. But we know that beyond these essentials, the greatest need is now shelter. Too many of our brothers and sisters have lost the very roofs over their heads. To address this urgent need, I am announcing a building support program for households in the most affected parishes as follows. And this will be an MP-driven program again. St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney. $10 million will be allocated to each constituency in those parishes. You know, there was a debate in this house about...
Well, let me stop this right away. Let me stop this right away. Let me stop this right away. Right? This is what we can understand, people. Hurricane Melissa, right? Pathway. Significant damages. Significant damages. And the Prime Minister stood in Parliament, right, talking about allocating $10 million. $10 million, $10 million to areas that more devastating. Now, this particular school project, a $400 million. So, on a small point in terms of making the comparison, the man in a parliament where the damages are intense, the man said he only can able to, give $10 million. But here it is, right? This particular school project in William Nib, $400 million. Wanna make it make sense, people? People, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Lindell said the $400 million must have included kickback. Oh, you mean that is automatic? About 3/4 of that a kickback. About 3/4 of that is kickback. So now when you look for all of them sort of atrocities here, it becomes problem. Now what say you on it, Melting Pot?
Well, Sir Byron and the rest of Jamaica, you know, sir, right now we are looking on this as means of corruption. Yeah? And I know this is going to happen, you know. Because remember saying, we are dealing with a kleptocratic government. Yeah, a government that prides itself on kickback, yeah, and choppings. You understand? So when them get the $6.7 billion, you know, you understand? And we are talking about US, you know. We know, say, it was like, you know, rain come to the Jamaica Labour Party. Because remember, you know, the country did not drought where finance is concerned, you know. Yes. After them scrape out, we're in the taxpayers' funding, you know. And splash it on buying vote in our election and distributing all type of, you know, items to them party supporter. We know where they go on, so the country they broke. No money never in the country. So Hurricane Melissa was a lifeline to the Jamaica Labour Party. And I want Jamaicans to understand that, you know. Yeah. Rather than it being something of devastation, yeah, to the nation. The Labour Party was celebrating because the Category 5 come and it trigger the $150 million in the insurance fund. You understand? And other means of money within CARICOM. You understand? And it also give them the impetus to travel overseas and beg, because a begging party, you know. Yeah, it's a scamming party. You understand? So them use all these type of mechanism, yeah, when you have such disaster happening to your country. Yeah, it's a platform for them go beg. But when them beg people, members say, them not utilize what them get to this fullest advantage. Because when we see with this, you know, this beggars to believe, then if 8 roof, couple windows and door, and some electrical equipment, we don't know what the electrical equipment are. Yeah, but presumably computer and stuff like that. Yeah, and it going cost up 400 million. They will not say the 400 million supersede the sale of SSL headquarters with the prime location land. At 300 million that change and by, you know. SSL headquarters change on for 300 million, while 8 roof, doors and windows, they not tell me the number. Yeah, but it can't add up to no whole heap of no. And some electrical equipment run 400 million. Hey, Dana Morris, mind where you going with, you know. Because members say you're idiot, you know. Because after Melissa, you say within 2 weeks time you want school for up and running piece of shit. You understand? Which could never happen. So we know say you is a puppet for Andrew Holness, because when Andrew do, Andrew bring people into certain position, you know, when they qualify, when can manangle them, and them know them corrupt like him. So this muppet girl from the Ministry of Education, she a go with some hanky-panky business from long time. I don't know, me I watch her, you know. Me I watch her like a hawk. Because me know say for her appointment, you know. Remember she did a peaker, you know, and go with a whole heap of garbage up there, so, you know. So you know she corrupted. You understand? She well corrupted. So how much then into the cost for build William Neighbor High School from scratch? If a 400 million this, which is just under $500 million, then how much to the cost if the school is flattened? Them people are real extreme criminal, and we have to expose them. Because remember, you know, this contract has to be tendered, you know, for bidding purpose. It can't be no backdoor in a night business, you know. Where you call your friend and tell your friend to come do this, you know. Book back, you know. It can't be that. These contracts has to be tendered for bidding purposes. Yeah. So we don't hear not about that. We don't know not about that. You understand? So we want transparency. You understand? We need that. Jamaican people need that because the Jamaican people have the responsibility and the burden to pay about the 6.7 billion. Not Andrew Holness, not Dana Morris, not the cliques. It's the people in the street, the people from the underprivileged society that make up the masses, that contribute the most money to the taxpayers' fund. Yeah, the big boys them escape tax, and Jamaican must look at it like that. They are exempted from contributing meaningful tax. We know that because I saw them align them things. Prime Minister tell us them don't like to pay tax. So we expect. The cliques them don't like to pay tax. Remember, we say Grace Kennedy get massive tax waiver after making massive amount of profit the same year, you know. So we know where we are going. But there under no circumstance can 8 roof, couple windows and door, and some electric equipment cost 400 million. Under no circumstance, so Minister of Education, you need to go back to the drawing board, you know. Yeah? Because remember, you know, Mystic Sensation Melting Pot and Man of the Wilderness, Mr. Lonesome are going to have a keen eye on you. This cannot go through. You understand? So the Auditor General need to step in now because the sound out there, say 8 roof, couple windows and door and some electrical equipment down at William Nib, I run taxpayers to the tune of 400 million. While we just draw a simple comparison, SSL, prime headquarter, where everybody know what it look like, it value less. It value over 300 million. I remember we talked about land and building. Not roof, windows and door and equipment, electrical equipment. So Dana Morris, Andrew Holness, yeah, we don't need to get to no act together. Jamaican taxpayers would not lie down and take this type of crap no more. It has to stop. This is 2026, and you are not going to use the 6.7 billion US dollar grant for the hurricane relief program like it's a charity welfare where you hand out money to your cronies them. Yeah? So this thing I know, it have to be examined carefully. Yeah, and we need more clarity on it. We want to know who were the bidders and I mean if it was legally tendered. We don't want to hear no little news coming out. Yeah? And the news not carry the weight of where we are look for. We want to get the full transparency
Exactly.
at this operation.
Exactly.
You understand? You can't just come give you a figure and Minister of Education told the principal. We don't want that. Because the Minister of Education is not anybody to reconcile with. She's a piece of shit. She's not transparent. I remember she fully corrupted, you know.
That is highly suspicious, right? Why the Minister of Education would tell the principal, right, as it relates to the cost of it and so forth and so forth. And he's talking about expensive. Come on, 400 million for one school? For one school, and you have the thing about it, Melting Pot, you have other schools that are more severely damaged. So what those schools are going to cost? This is madness.
Maybe 2 billion, like when them did Project for Cornwall Regional Hospital at the outset. Hey, them people need to go to prison, you know. Yeah, and the whole of them are player in the thing, you know. I'm a garbage man, because that's why I tell people, say, you see some people who you see in the Labour Party, the whole of them are shit. Because look on this little piece of moped, girl, yeah? Them have her like a piece of tool, you know. Them just Andrew just a use her, you know, and she can't realize, you know. She don't even know so where she had to do a prison work. You can't come tell this to Jamaican taxpayers. 8 roof. Some windows. Why we not get the number of windows like how we get the 8 roof? Some door were damaged and some electrical equipment. We need more substance in the information we have put out, man. How much door, how much window? What are the electrical equipment? And we need to do checks and balance here. Because we need checks and balance in everything. I mean, I said to the People's National Party, which is the opposition, which have a strong voice in Parliament, yeah, and which control that sector now, where checks and balance is concerned.
The PAAC.
Yeah, the PAAC, right? Please go and do the due diligent work that need to be done.
Yes, exactly.
Go and have an assessment. See what it look like. Don't make this garbage regime come put out nothing for the taxpayers and burden the taxpayers. Yeah, and use the $6.7 billion as charity packet for them friends. Yeah, the cliques them. You understand? Because too much of that are going and it have to stop. At the end of the day, the taxpayers, all of this fall down pan, you know. Them big boy, they are running from tax. And them have more money than the poor people. But Andrew tell you, say, him no like pay tax and many more. Big Mama show you the same thing. Him no like pay tax and him not pay none. Edward Seaga do the same thing. And many more do the same thing. Because in the annual tax report, you know, a lot of corporate companies are delinquent, you know. A lot of them are delinquent with tax. But the average man and woman have to pay them tax. Motorists have to pay tax. Vehicle seized and gone and wreck back. And end up in a pound. You understand? So we cannot allow this kleptocratic government to administrate as if so well then him have the upper hand in a parliament anymore. Andrew Hollis, you do not have the upper hand in parliament anymore. You need to rein in your corruption. Rein in your corruption. Because when you're hosted bill and the money where you put out say it costs, you know. You know, Sister William Nib value more than where your hosted costs. And you build from scratch. So I don't know how you as a prime minister allow the minister of education to come up with them fictitious number here. The 8 roof, windows and door and a few electrical equipment. Oh! Hey, we don't need to understand, say 2026, I go bitter. Here, make sure no. It a go come in like sulfur, bitter spoon. I yield back the floor, my brother.
Well said, Melting Pot. Well said. I mean, it is crazy, right? $400 million. Come on, man. That is crazy. So we are just asking the opposition, right? Because you know you are actually providing the oversight for government expenditures via the PAAC, right? So we have to make sure that you zero in on this. Julian Robinson, zero in on the contract there. You understand? Because that no sound right. Something wrong with that. You understand? And if you wheel and come again, wheel and come again, right? This need to be investigated immediately, you know, and don't make it get out of hand, right? The
Byron, they get a second.
Yes.
They get a second because just highlight so to the people.
Well,
them want to use the school, them, you know, to repart the money. Because remember, them always keep a whole money through education system, you know. This is why you see the nasty boy, Bushrat, Ghana, Petersfield, run out the people, them. Because them want to get back to school over, so them repair them and them spend this and that. A criminal, them, you know. A money them want. And them always use the education system to funnel the money through into them bank account. So that's why you say nasty Bushrat run Ghana, Petersfield, run out the people because them want to say, well then, over the holiday period, you know, we do extensive repair and damages at Peterfield and William Nip, and it run the government in lie, rubbish. Jamaican people, wake up to this atrocity and push back on this nasty regime who continue to suppress taxpayers. Over to you, Mr. Byron.
Very good, Melting Pot, to put on that extra piece there, because it is so true. And this is one of the reasons why them are rush now. You understand, the persons who stay in the shelters, right? Because they want to do them thing and, you understand, and hustle their money, kickbacks and all of them thing there. You understand? So we want to know, right, what I am interested in, right, is for the opposition to find out, right, talk to us about this, because this is taxpayers' money and we need to know how every single cent is spending. So when I get back in Parliament, Julian Robinson, right, ISAT, Buchanan, right, Nikisha Burchell, please speak in regards to this $400 million for this project. We want to have a full clarity on this. Taxpayers need clarity on this, right? $400 million for one project, and we need to know who get the contract, right? Okay. And if we can see them casting lists, right? That them not pad it, because this is who they are, right? And now, having said that, let me say Jamaica, right? We are now in January, and I think February we are going to get another corruption index. So I want to remind Jamaica as it relates to where we stand right now on the corruption index as a result of the damage that Andrew Holness had done. Now, we had lost 4 places downwards on the corruption index. Remember that you have heard this on Mystic Sensation, along with Melting Pot, that we are going to lose more places on the corruption index. What that goes to say? Andrew Holness' administration is extremely, extremely corrupt. Now, let me just remind him of the corruption index, what the corruption index is saying to him. And for him to be doing this, number one, you know, you are running ADPEM, right? Until we speak, as we speak, there is no oversight as it relates to ADPEM. All the relief aid that going into ADPEM and coming out of ADPEM, right? You have not provided any oversight, and all the long talking your talk from God, he knows when, right? There is no oversight. You claim that, you understand, you're going to set up, right, a committee, right, to deal with the oversight. Where it is. And as we speak, right, things are moved out of ADPEM like worries. So where it is. Now, what it seems like to me is that the amount of corruption that you had done in 2025, you want to steal some of this, try to see if you can catch up back in terms of what you have done. No, you have to pay for these things. Now remember, let me warn you, because I start to understand where you are, what you are doing. You know. Remember that the ministries, as it relates to the $3 trillion. So let me remind you, let me talk to you, Andrew Honest. You understand? Because you think you're smart, you know. The $3 trillion are accounted for. Right? You claim, as a matter of fact, the Minister of Finance, Favour Williams, claimed that the money has not been missing. Right? It is the appropriation account, right, that have not been tendered. Now, the appropriation account is supposed to be tendered on an yearly basis, you know. I mean, yearly, and you understand what yearly is. Now, Sister Favour, 10 years from Andrew Honest went in power, no appropriation account being submitted. And I'm here asking, talking to you, right? Talking to the Auditor General, why can't we have some reconciliation? I want to find out, Favour, and let me ask the opposition. Opposition, can we get an update as it relates to the ministry's appropriation account? Are they submitting their appropriation account for it to be checked? I don't understand what they go on. And let me ask a question. As it relates to the $3 trillion, you understand that have been missing, unaccounted for. Can we get a reconciliation update? We have begged for the update from God he knows when. So we are asking the opposition, can you drive the mission in terms of asking for an update as it relates to reconciliation report into these ministries' appropriation account? Can we have a reconciliation report done on these ministries' appropriation account to tell us what is the updated figure that we are dealing with now? Were we able to reduce that $3 trillion being unaccounted for? Or the $3 trillion have been increased as it relates to unaccounted for? The public honestly deserve to know. We deserve to know. Right? We deserve to know. Is the variance decrease or the variance increase? Where are you? What is the status as it relates to those appropriation accounts? So we need some form of reconciliation to be done on this. Right? And it is just plain and simple. Now let me just remind Andrew Honest something as it relates to where he put the country in. Right? And remember that it was Mark Golden who drafted the Integrity Commission Act 2017, right? That pushed us 4 places, right? Upwards, right? From 38 to that push up 6 places upwards from 38 to 44. Remember that, you know? It was the Integrity Commission investigate law, right? That Mark Golden drafted the bill and so forth. And your administration put that in law. That's why we have the Integrity Commission Act 2017, right? And that done good for our corruption index, right? It give us good movements on the corruption index, but now you have reduced that. You have lost 4 places downward that you're going at it. I'm going to show you a level of corruption, you know. I'm only show you a level of corruption, Andrew Honest. Now let us dig into this. Unbelievable. With your level of corruption, it's unbelievable. Now let us look at this, people. This is serious. Here it is, and we're going to read into it. Right? Andrew Honest, you need to resign, you know. They honestly need to and we are asking about umbrella group of churches, right? The private sector organization, they are in the corruption with you, you know. They are in the corruption with you, so we don't expect nothing better from them, you know. Now, Jamaica Position and Transparency International Corruption Perception Index fell 4 places in 2024. You understand? See there? Right? There it is. The Jamaica Position and Transparency International Corruption Perception Index has dropped 4 places for 2024. Now, when we see the first contract where you give out as it relates to the school, $400 million. I have to get back to this, to warn you, Andrew Honest. See that? The country now ranked 73rd out of 180 countries compared to 69 in 2023. You see the damage that you caused right there, sir? 4 places. From 69, gone to 73rd. See that? The country now ranks 73rd out of 180 countries compared to 2023 when it was 69. The level of corruption, what you are doing, Andrew Honest. CPI was released on the 12:01 this morning. Meanwhile, Jamaica 2023 CPI score of 44 out of 100 remain unchanged for 2024. And you know what saved that? The Integrity Commission that Mark Golin drafted. A score of 0 represents highly corrupt, while 100 indicates very clean. Right? Jamaica's score of 44 remains the country best ever on the corruption index, perception index, right? A feature previously attained in 2017, as I talk about it. 2017, when the Integrity Commission Act, right, shuttled into law. And that served up to 2017, 2018, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. Right? So we don't say anything on the 2024. Right? A CPI score below 50 indicates that a country has a serious corruption problem. Jamaica has been firmly placed in this category for 23 years. Can you imagine? And most of that is what the Jamaica Labour Party, I am only showing you the corruption of the Jamaica Labour Party, you know. Jamaica has been firmly placed in this category for 23 years. And how much of that 23 years that JLP in power? Most of it. So you see the corruption, you see the breakdown of the corruption. Now, a poor CPI signal, prevalent bribery. See the reasons here, Andrew Honest. See the reason here, look for the reason. A poor CPI signal, prevalent bribery. Right? Lack of punishment for corruption. Dalrymple found guilty. And what you did? You put back Dalrymple. See them talk about you, you know. This, they are talking about you and your behavior and public institutions that fail to respond to citizen needs. All of this is what you are guilty with. In its summary overview, the Integrity Commission notes that according to Transparency International, the CPI highlights a stark contrast between nations with strong independent institutions and free and fair elections. All of that too, you know, you're involved in the breaking down with the thief in election too. And those with repressive authoritarian regimes like yours. It further explained that full democracies have a CPI average of 73. Ours stay at 44, while flawed democracy average 47. We are 44. You know, shame Andrew Honest. See that? It further explained that full democracies have a CPI average of 73. So they are closer to the 100. While flawed democracies average 47. And non-democratic regime average just 33. That means you fall in between the flawed and the non-democratic regime. You know, that means you're heading into a dangerous, you're heading down a dangerous slope in Andrew Honest. See, the people ever tell us you're corrupt, you're extremely corrupt. Right? This places Jamaica in the category of a flawed democracy. See me I tell you that? Flawed democracy. Jamaica is among 9 English-speaking Caribbean countries ranked. Barbados is ranked at least corrupt at 23rd out of 180 countries followed by the Bahamas, St. Vincent, Dominican, St. Lucia, and Grenada. You know, shame Andrew Honest. Jamaica, Trinidad, and Tobago, and Guyana are the only countries on the list with consistently poor sub 50 CPI scores over the years. This is embarrassing. Embarrassing. Right? But me no surprise. And here you know, but can't stop and play this a clip here. Can't stop and play it. You know say you're corrupt. You know say corruption and mash up the country. You see your father run out and say, you have 30 taxes. Eh? The pooper lie. The pitney lie. You know see the foundation where Andrew Honest came from? Father came out, right? And tripled down in a dirty lie. 30 taxes. And even have some power to come off. But hear what you are saying here so now about corruption because you know the corruption that damage your country. You see the thing with your Andrew Honest? You are involved in the 90s financial meltdown. And you have done a good level of damage to the economy. But yet you come out and you tell people say PNP is responsible for high interest rate. You notice you not speak about unsecured loan. Unsecured loan. It is unsecured loan that caused the financial meltdown. Dan Crawford that take out money, they give Seaga $31 million. 31 million US dollars, you know. I investors' money, you know. Dan Crawford, they lend himself money. Him, Dan Crawford, they lend him, Dan Crawford, money. You can't get it worse than this. Him lend him mother money. He lend his sister money. He lend his father money. Right? These are the level of corruption. But here you know, Andrew Honest. Here you know. Listen to you. Listen to you now, Andrew Honest. Listen to you. No, all right. Comrade Bunting, right? Well said. Corruption, hypocrisy, a tale of two narratives. Well said. Now, let me just speak to my people. All right. Melting pot.
Yeah.
Just I want you speak to them. Let me just go and let in wifey coming in. So my parking at the thing there. Just hold it until me come back.
Yeah, man. Well, our people know say this year at the continuation of the journey, you know. And this journey is a journey that, deserve everybody participating in this. Because what we see are going in Jamaica beg us to believe what type of government we have in charge. Because Andrew Woolen still was saying, why them never perform, them need more money in them salary. You understand? Them get that and them a perform worse. No transparency. You understand? Corruption high to the mountain, This is why even with ADPEM, it not have no checks and balance. Because him can't afford to have checks and balance when so much relief coming at the island. Him want it to distribute amongst who him feel to distribute it to, including some of the big boys them. Cause enough of the thing them in them warehouse, Yeah. And now we see when we want to play a Nancy game with the money, the 6.7 billion. So we have to just look on them thing as something where we, don't want in our society. Because at the end of the day, when international government, come to a country here, them look on what is going on. You understand how the aid package is being utilized. You understand? And then this going plunge Jamaica in a further crisis if something like this supposed to happen again. Them now come to aid. Just like when them did default with IMF. IMF did lack off Jamaica. So if this government don't understand the checks and balance and transparency have to be of the paramount, then them have something, that they are not wanting to share with the Jamaican public. Because obviously they are hiding a lot of things. Why them don't want the checks and balance? Why? We have to ask ourselves the question. Because ACPEM is operating as if, well, then, it's not a professionally run entity. Just like how you see with the $3 trillion, there was no checks and balance for over 11 years. And when it finally come to the, highlight of concern, you realize the $3 trillion gone. Because 11 years of not doing any farmer work in patrolling these ministry resulted in $3 trillion. So if we're going to have ADPEM and it's not being, scrutinized by the person who's supposed to look over these type of administration, then you're going to have fraud and corruption. And this is why the corruption index of Jamaica where it is right now. Yeah. It have Jamaica right where it is because of the high level of corruption over 2 decades with the Jamaica Labour Party.
Melting pot,
Yes, sir.
the thing that I showed earlier, did you see it?
Which one?
The one with Peter Bunting.
No, I never see that one.
No man, then I have to go share it back over because his wife just called me and said the people in the chat are saying that they are not seeing it. Right?
No, that never come up,
No, then you should have tell me, Melting pot man. Just tell me. Because media no one believe they want to see it. Hold on, so I have to go share it back because the people have not see it.
Yeah, share it back.
Come on, I have to go send it back, man, because the people need to see it. And me believe that whenever
No, I thought more than less say they have some technical difficulties because I did leave here a little bit and when I come back, everything did silent. And then I see a shake head, so I wonder if I the same thing like we happened last night over the Titan.
No. Hold on. because I never know that the people weren't seeing it. A wife just called me and make me know say the people are not seeing it. Okay, so let me just copy that. Sorry, folks. All right, let me just mighty goodness. I'm media the talk no hell. I'm gonna listen to people in my seat. Okay. Maybe listen to people in my seat and hold on. So let me share it. Sorry about that, people. Sorry about that. My bad. Okay.
Start by quoting in the debate on the bill establishing the new Integrity Commission, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, then said, and I quote, "As a politically independent country, we could have achieved much more were it not for corruption in many forms. Revenue leakage due to corrupt practices."
Melting pot, when this stop, just go and talk. I'm gonna let you wife here, yeah?
All right.
Yeah.
Misuse of public funds, and the overall perception of pervasive corruption, all of which have served to compromise the flow of investment into our country. Listen to this, Alvin. All of which have served to compromise the flow of investment into our country. End quote. Now, this helps explain why net foreign direct investment in 2023 is less than half what it was in 2015. It is less than half. It is less than half what it was. You know, that's like pushing a knife 6 inches into somebody's back, pulling it out 2 inches and then celebrating, right? The net, listen to the data. Listen to the data. Net foreign direct investment in 2023, World Bank statistics, 376 million. In 2015, it was 926 million, right? Clearly, corruption has compromised the flow of investment into our country, based on the Prime Minister's statement. The Prime Minister continued. The Prime Minister continued, and I quote, "The Economic Growth Council has also recently identified corruption as a significant retardant to growth." End quote. But let me repeat that. Prime Minister Andrew Holness continued, quote, "The Economic Growth Council has also recently identified corruption as a significant retardant to growth." End quote. Now, colleagues, we understand why, notwithstanding all the economic and fiscal reforms implemented since 2013, growth is so elusive. The PM signaled it. Corruption. The PM signaled it. Corruption. But let me continue. In his message to commemorate International Anti-Corruption Day in 2020, the Prime Minister stated, and I again quote, "Under the leadership of Chairman the Honorable Justice Seymour Panton, the Commission continues to distinguish itself, operating without fear or favor, in pursuit of a just and corruption-free public sector, and ensuring the best and most efficient use of public resources. End quote. What a full-throated and unqualified endorsement of the Integrity Commission and its leadership under Justice Panton. Now, this is where, you know, that meme that they use on YouTube or TikTok that says, a few moments later. In this one, it would be a few years later, after the Integrity Commission issued a damning investigative report on the same Prime Minister, detailing a series of complex financial arrangements involving 28 bank accounts with thousands of transactions and hundreds of millions of dollars passing betwixt and between these accounts. Well,
yes, so you're saying
suddenly, that same PM has now gone to court, and I'm not commenting on the strength of his case. Just the fact is, he has gone to court seeking to strike down the provisions of the Integrity Commission Act and declare Section 14(5) unconstitutional. My observation is simple, that it's very unusual, in fact extraordinary, that a law piloted and passed by his government and which his Attorney General would have certified as constitutional is now being challenged in court. That's all I'm saying. And let me start by quoting. In the debate on the bill establishing the new Integrity Commission, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, then said, and I quote, "As a politically independent country, we could have achieved much more were it not for corruption in many forms. Revenue leakage due to corrupt practices, misuse of public funds, and the overall perception of pervasive corruption, all of which have served to compromise the flow of investment into our country." Listen to this, Alvin. All of which have served to compromise the flow of investment into our country. End quote. Now, this helps explain why net foreign direct investment in 2023 is less than half what it was in 2015. It is less than half. It is less than half what it was. You know, that's like pushing a knife 6 inches into somebody's back, pulling it out 2 inches and then celebrating, right? The net, listen to the data. Listen to the data. Net foreign direct investment in 2023, World Bank statistics, 376 million. In 2015, it was 926 million, right? Clearly, corruption has compromised the flow of investment into our country.
All right. Let me stop share this, right? And let us speak, right? Let us speak in terms of the situation. Now you heard what Andrew Holness said, right? That clearly corruption interrupted the flow of growth in this country. People, I could think in terms of what Andrew Holness said. While Andrew Holness is saying that Jamaican people, Andrew Holness involved in corruption. You don't want it. You don't want it worse than that. You don't want it worse than that. While Andrew Holness was saying all of that, all of what Andrew that you have heard, right? That clearly corruption interrupted the flow of growth in this country. Corruption is a significant retardance to growth. So him know that corruption is a significant retardance to growth. But yet the man involved in holding Cash Plus and SSL to damage investors. So tell me what you think about the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister said that, you know, corruption is a significant, hear what the Prime Minister said. The corruption is a significant retardance to growth. But people now, look at you now. Look what the Prime Minister involved in now. I could just show this. Right? I could just show this. Look what the Prime Minister involved in now. And now tell me now if something is wrong with Andrew Holness. Tell me if something is wrong with Andrew Holness. Right? Tell me if something is wrong with Andrew Holness. Here's that document. Tell me if something is wrong with Andrew Holness or so. Let me just get this up because something, let me, seems like
what you looking for?
The next document. Oh, okay, let me just share this one. Now here it is, people, where Andrew Holness under investigation and where, right, as it relates to Citibank. I showed this a couple of times. But when we look and see what Andrew Holness stated, right? Look at October 9th. Received witness statement dated October 4, 2023 from the duly authorized officer at Citibank, NA, Jamaica, indicated that no account was held in the name indicated in the DI's request. You understand? So they lied. They lied for Andrew Holness. Right? But look at this, people. You seen this one, melting pot?
No, you haven't changed that one yet.
Okay, all right. Let me stop share that. Right? And go to the next one. Let me just stop from share that. Right? Look at this. Look at these people. You see this now, melting pot?
Yeah, that one up.
When you see it now, people, Citibank US, after Citibank live Andrew Holness and said there is no account in Citibank for Andrew Holness. See it here? $713,000 USD dollars. $713 USD dollars. See it here? So the Integrity Commissioner, you understand? This is in 2021 thing that him declared, you know. After Citibank live him. See it here? $713,000 US dollars being discovered here in a checking account number 68. Wanna tell me Jamaica? Tell me Jamaica. Now, tell me Jamaica that what you have heard and the Prime Minister is saying that corruption is a significant retardance to growth. And then now the Integrity Commission found out what Andrew Honest is doing. Melting Pot, what is your take on the matter?
Well, it's plain and simple, you know. This guy get protection from all quarters society. Because Citibank try to protect him. Say him not have an account here. But the
Yes.
Integrity Commission see where him have an account here with 730,500 US dollar. You understand? Vast amount of money that, you know. Where Andrew get that money from him, God knows. And the fact of the matter that Andrew do not want to make him account being transparent and people are cover up him account. It tell you say a dirty money. It's not being, you know, a money where him can verify or him get it. Because if him verify the true aspect or him come by this money, it shows him in a high level corruption. And
Yes.
this is why, you know, we see where the corruption index of Jamaica right now. And this is why between 2015 and 2023, Jamaica lose 550 million in foreign investment. Because nobody now come and the corruption investors don't come in your country, you know. When them know so you have corruption running through your society. Them not coming, especially when it involves government officials. And everybody know that Andrew Wallace is corrupted. Them know the Jamaica Labour Party is corrupted. And them know several people within civil society has fallen victim of corruption as well. You understand? I mean, to corruption. Because Andrew Wallace have them locked like that, you know. And Jamaican people have realized. That's why we say him run you know, regime where dictatorship, you know, is at the forefront. Because everybody know get the Andrew Wallace syndrome of corruption. Everybody, and I like it just in our little small pocket in a Jamaica, you know. It's spread out now. You understand? Because when you can have banking management, yeah, hide customer account from, you know, authorization like the Integrity Commission. It tell you say corruption did it. And I remember, you know, Andrew Wallace himself, you know, lied to Jamaican, say him not involved in a SSL. When we know very well them involved in a SSL, and we know the seismic of him involvement. We know say that Jamaica Labour Party empire where them have up there, so you understand? Where them alone invest night with some other Jamaicans. Yeah, it don't really entail the People's National Party member. So we know it's a GLP ring of corruption. And, you know, him have himself come out and point out that, but him talk to the nation in a reverse psychology concept. Because him know him embrace corruption. Him know him participate in it. But him tell you say corruption take away from investment coming into Jamaica. But when him are the main stake player in a corruption, this is the man who lead corruption, you know. Because everything what Andrew been doing from day one him enter into politics, riddled with corruption. Remember, him say him coming to politics with 47 million. Him give that in an interview with Fisheadless. Yeah. But then in a submission, in an affidavit to the Integrity Commission, that no mention in it. So that alone I tell you say the guy corrupted. You understand? And Jamaica people now have to realize that with corruption in the country now go grow. It now go get better. Everybody life go stagnated under corruption. Just look where the man go on with the man. Melissa come and you tear down Adpem. You bring a guy from the army when I have no experience. None whatsoever. And you put him in charge. Yeah. And all the opposition are called for checks and balance. The guy decides him no want that. Him no want an independent committee to preside over the things that will come to Jamaica from donor. You understand? Everything the man want have hands on it and run it how him want to run it because him know how him can supersede, everything and benefit from it. So we have to look on him as the most corrupted leader ever set foot in Jamaica. Jamaican people have the power and the authority to move him, So if Jamaican people want to sit down with this guy and him administration any longer, that will beat upon them. Yeah? Because how long can Jamaica sustain Andrew Holness and him regime? How much more? The country right now has fallen down flat on its back. You understand? It not have no life anymore. The economy dead. Yeah, and them I use a corruption guy like Wayne Henry, to come tell we said the economy grow by 5%. Now that a high level corruption again. When you have somebody from the Planning Institute of Jamaica where I come out and I tell lie as it relates to the growth of the economy. How can an economy grow when you have come out of recession and grow by 5%? When you have election, when we hear all people, members from the PSOJ, say within the last 30 years, the worst the economy is. But it grew 5%. Then if them never come out and say that and the economy did better, that grew by probably 50%, which has never been heard of anywhere in the world. So it just show you and highlight the high level of corruption. When Andrew can get people for life for him, that's a corruption, That is corruption. And Wayne Henry is a player in the corruption. You understand? The guy from Citibank, we say Andrew have no account there, is a player from within the corruption ring. And we have to pluck out them people and apply the charge where them supposed to get. Because them supposed to charge for perjury. Lying is a crime that fit what we just tell you about perjury. You understand? Them supposed to get charged. So we are look on everything now. And we are said to ourselves then, why Jamaican people continue with this guy? With all the information that is out there and Andrew Holness, yeah? With all the information that is out there as to how the Labour Party deal with taxpayers' money, yeah? Because the 3 trillion are taxpayers' money, All the money them we see, them use in this old school bus scandal, a taxpayers' money. The drill, a taxpayers' money. Beryllium Hospital, a taxpayers' money. And many more of the entities them where them are run with, like all the building them where them are rent and occupy but pay rent for how long. A taxpayers' money, but them they a high level corruption. Me I rent a house, few much years I not live in it, it just slack up, but me just pay the landlord rent. Why? Why would I do that? So these are what we are talking about, the high level corruption. And remember, Jamaica can't grow with this commodity. Yeah, it is not the right commodity to grow your country. It not going to do not for your economy. It not going to drive away investors. They not come. So we are looking at everything as high level corruption, and the people them now have to make sure no say them fight against it. Because we are here highlighting it, And remember, we not do tabloid. We would never come out and make allegations that are dumbfounded. You understand? We have to come and present the facts. So if we are presented, then the people now have to get behind the machinery and do for them part. Because Andrew supposed to go Jamaica keep this guy for too long. Because remember, the election gone a corruption, riddled with corruption. We never see this yet. In the history of voting in Jamaica, we never see one voter take all 15 minutes to cast them vote. We never see the line stagnated and now move. We never see police put up barrier and I run with ballot box. We never see it. Well, we never have electronic, voting. Yeah, and if you have electronic voting, you have to have it throughout all the constituency. You can unpick the constituency the more you want to put it in. But then on the night, all internet from the 2 major internet provider. Digicel and Flow, gone. And light gone. What can go so? But when it come back, everything surge through the roof. You understand? Surge through the roof to the extent where the corruption was exposed right there and then. The kind of Andrew constituency, more vote was cast than who were registered to vote. What can go so? So we are just looking at Jamaica now in a stalemate. And it needs to start move again. But you can't move with a corrupted leader at the end. No. You have to get rid of the corrupted leader. You have to do like what Singapore do. Send them to prison, charge them, seize them asset. Yeah, liquidate back them asset to money and put it back in the taxpayers' fund. And send them to prison and make example out of them garbage. Yeah. Several of them, Muma Cow, Ruel Reed, Darrell Vaz, the list goes on and on. You understand? Yeah, send them to prison, man. Free up the Jamaican people spirit, man. Make them get back some more joy in themselves, man. No, so well then, you know, the country return back in a good hands. Yeah? The country need to go in a hand that is pure and clean. The country is in a dirty hand right now as I'm speaking. And Jamaica people, you have the rights to move the sky. Whether through the election process which them tamper with the other day, or through a thing called vote of no confidence, want to take to the street and start protest and shut down the economy for even a week or two. In friend them, I go tell him to move. You know who I'm friend them? The PSOJ and them back country, you know. Them can't take 2 weeks but of high protest from consumer. Them are go moving. So Jamaica people, a time for we don't rise up to the cause, man. Yeah? Rise up to the cause. Because remember, you know, this is a journey, you know. And the journey has to be completed. And the election process seems to be not working. Because this guy has so much strategy. He is such a chess player that he can make all type of move. Move like what you see him do with Dushan Chibadia. Where he manipulate the electronic voting system. And we didn't know about it. We know about the 10 seat where them select. Yeah, we know about it before the day of the election. My brother Byron know about it too. You understand? And it did occur. It did occur. God, them have to protect 10 individuals, you know. I don't know if this is the same 10 that is under investigation. But I know 10 individuals were protected. People like Rhoda Crawford. Remember, in the local government election, you know, all the fair council them lose, you know. But come General, she win the seat. What can go so? What can go so? That is absurd. In voting terms, that is absurd. Your council them cannot lose the local government election. But you, the member of parliament, win and win handsomely. You're mad. That's a corruption, and that was one of the seats where we know about. Where them handpicked. Yeah? We can't lose. I remember, you know, them carry out them corruption and them succeed. You understand? But we now have to find other ways and means to get them out. Jamaica cannot survive with this regime. With Andrew Holness at the helm, Jamaica will sink way, way below 80 another third world country that have turmoil within their society. Yeah? So we have to call on the people now to rally around the movement. Because this movement there be a long time now, you know. And I mean, the resource we put behind this movement, you know, we take to the platform, you know. When Sir Byron go and do the work, them sometimes him don't even sleep. Him don't even get the sleep when him sleep at night. Me the same way. Lonesome the same way. But we have to go and find the solid information come put out. So with we in the space to contribute, we need some more, you know, solid movement behind the movements, man. So me I call for me Jamaican people, 2026, make we cut harder, man. Make we push harder, man. Because victory we have to attain, you know. Because if we not attain victory, we have to lose Jamaica. I yield back the floor to you, my brother.
All right. Blessing Melting Pot. We are going to get into some deep situation now. Melting Pot, it's been rumored, right, that Dennis Strong had recused himself. Now, if this is true, right, this is a strong sign that Andrew Holness is in trouble. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. It's also rumored, right, that Dennis Strong went onto Big Mama station, in Friendem station, and he was asked, right, to give an update as it relates to, you know, the investigation into Andrew Holness, right? And he's saying that there was no information that shared with him. That is not true, right? That is not true, right? And that he has not been briefed. You know what that is telling me, Melting Pot? Let me tell you what that is telling me. That is specifically telling me that Andrew Holness is in trouble. I'm going to tell you why. If there was anything over FID that Dennis Strong had looked on that could vindicate Andrew Holness, Big Mama would have heard it already. Andrew Holness, you understand? They would have given some indication about it, and he would force them to come out with it. But to the fact that after Dennis Strong spent, if this is true, that Dennis Strong thinking about recuse himself, if after all the months that Dennis Strong had spent over FID, being the person in charge, he would privy to all the information. He would privy to all the information, right? And being to the fact that he wants to recuse now, the fact of the matter is that what he is looking on, I can tell the Jamaican people, what Dennis Strong is looking on is something that Dennis Strong knows very well, that the Prime Minister cannot fight. The Integrity Commission investigators have him locked. He cannot explain his wealth. Andrew Holness in a trouble. Right? To the fact that at this point in time, Melting Pot, that Dennis Strong can't come out, right? And he's looking now to recuse himself. Something fundamentally wrong. I want you to speak specifically. What is your thought process on it, Melting Pot, before we get going on the program? Just tell me your thought process, and let me take it.
Well, my thought process is just simple. The guy know that he was biting off more than he can chew in the first place, but based on the facts, well, let him know the connection where Andrew have. Him think, well, him could have gone and do something. Because remember, I'm used to do accounting for Andrew, you know. Yeah, yes. So him have knowledge where that is concerned. But when him going and see how treacherous the water is, you know, as a matter of fact, him take too long to recluse himself. Because
hold on, Melting Pot, you said something which is very important. And remember, I don't have the facts on it. So let me just say that categorically clear, because we are not going to run any propaganda over here. Now, if it is true that Dennis Strong has been saying that, right, he has no access to the information relating to Andrew Holness as it relates to what that investigation is about with FID, and he has no access to that file. Let me ask you a question, because it is rumored that Dennis Strong, right, is one of Andrew Holness' accountant. Now, watch this. Watch this. If there is anything that the investigators pick up that Dennis Strong, right, I am not saying that it is so, right, I am just putting my thought process together, critical thinking. If I am the investigator investigating that, and it is established within the investigation that Dennis Strong, right, done accountant work for him as it relates to any of the related issues relating to corruption, I would really believe Dennis Strong, because the investigators, you understand, would have locked away certain information from him, then he wouldn't be privy to that information. So I am wondering if and I'm wondering also that if that established, is it a situation that they force him, you understand, to leave? So when him saying go and recuse himself, is it a situation which what he doesn't have a say? Right? Could it be that decision that if he's going to recuse himself, that him come under tremendous pressure? We don't know enough, we just ask. Because we are not getting anything coming out. You understand? So make you think about that. If Dennis Strong they recuse himself right now, trouble is there. Honestly,
Definitely.
if Dennis Strong is recusing himself right now from FID, because I haven't seen, I just searched the internet and the only thing I saw is a Facebook communication. Facebook communication, you understand, relating to some sentiment of that. But Jamaica people, I am telling you that if Dennis Strong is recusing himself, it's a situation that is getting more serious, more intense, that Dennis Strong have to take away himself. Trouble in the people. Trouble is there. I'm going to ask him, if Dennis Strong are recused, me to tell Dennis Strong, say, trouble is there. Trouble is there. Now, me could get in some juicy.
Bigger than he thought.
It has to be bigger than him. Him can't help it. Him realize that he can't help the situation, and the best thing he need to do is to take away himself. Before he get himself entangled. You understand? Because unless you understand him, I come under pressure where the Prime Minister want him to do certain things and him just can't do it. Because what Dennis Strong, Dennis Strong would have realized that, because Dennis Strong, I presume that Dennis Strong, you understand, right, have some sort of, awareness. You understand? Because number one, the Integrity Commission investigator plus the crawl report, those forensic investigators would have some information, you understand, in their keeping. So him can't do nothing over there. This is surprising. This is surprising. And if Dennis Strong, let me say it, if Dennis Strong is recusing himself, Jamaican people think, critical thinkers think, something is there. Something that is bigger than Dennis Strong. Dennis Strong can't manage it. Just like how Michael Leaching can't manage certain things. When you come now, watch you now. Bangarang yes or no. Melting pot, prepare for that one now.
Well, no. I mean, we know that Dennis Strong did have to leave, But,
yes.
It's just the narrative we have put to the people. It's a lucrative job. Yes, sir. If you know so well, then, boy, you can, fit in another role. Why you want to recluse yourself from a lucrative job where you just take up the other day? Well, paid job, A man want to leave it. That means there's something sticky around here, Byron.
Fire did it.
Fire did it, my brother. Fire did it. But Dennis Strong should have known from a long time, yeah? Because it's not just I see valid information in terms of investigating them, We run here to do our own investigation on them. And
Yes.
him know that too. Yeah? And him know so the information what we put out the credible. So it's not like so well then boy, there's no media coverage on it. We are covering it through social media and our platform. Not like what them have in Jamaica where them hide it and now present not to the media, through the media to the people. So him know so well then with we, behind it and I drive it and I highlight it to the people. Him know him couldn't stay in the hot seat, him have to leave. Yeah, my brother. Continue.
Yeah. If the rumor work out to be true and not a rumor, then I mean trouble is there, people. Honestly, no two way about that. Trouble there. Now, our next big trouble. Hey, I wonder what I go on 2026. 2026, it just seems like the sledge coming down. You understand? A lot of them, it seems like 2026 come to roll them up. You understand? All of those people in a corruption, because Michael Leaching, right, in some serious predicament as well. Now, let us get to this clip on a YouTube. Michael Leaching, right? Missed bond payment. Earlier today, I run this melting pot. You weren't here. So may I run it back again and show John Public again. Michael Leachin, right, misses one payment. Right? Yes. Now listen up. Because fire the
Empire
blaze.
of one of the Caribbean's most iconic billionaires on the verge of a massive shakeup. Michael Leachin, the chairman of NCB Financial Group, has officially missed a crucial $94 million bond payment deadline. Now, the clock has run out and the creditors are reportedly headed to the Supreme Court. The stakes? Control of Jamaica's largest financial institution. Today, we're breaking down exactly what happened, why this man matters, and if Leachin is about to lose his grip on NCB. Before we proceed, if you want more videos like this, please hit that like and subscribe to the channel right now. It will really help our community grow. Plus, you will receive notification when we release more content like this in the future. No, December 31st, 2025 was supposed to be the day Michael Leachin's AIC Barbados Limited settled a massive debt. We're talking about a $94.3 million bond. To put that into perspective, that is over 14.5 billion Jamaican dollars. This was not a surprise deadline, you know. This was the final extension after a series of delays that have been dragging on for months. But as the new year rang in, the payments did not arrive. Now, the bondholders who have been patient up to this point are reportedly done waiting. Now, you might be asking, why does a personal or corporate debt of Michael Leachin matters to NCB shareholders? Here is the kicker, the collateral. To secure this $94 million loan, AIC Barbados used its crown jewel, millions of shares in NCB Financial Group. Specifically, we are talking about roughly 430 million shares. If Leachin cannot pay the cash, the bondholders have the legal right to go after the security. If they seize those shares, Leachin's majority ownership and his absolute control over the NCB empire would vanish overnight. This is not just a late fee. This is a fight for the keys to the kingdom. Because the deadline was missed, the trustees for the bondholders are now moving to the Supreme Court of Jamaica. They are seeking a declaration that a default event has occurred. Once the courts confirm this, it paves the way for a receiver to be appointed. Now, a receiver's job is simple. Take the assets, sell them, and pay back the creditors. If that happens, those 430 million NCB shares could be dumped on the market or sold to a new institutional investor. Now, that would be the biggest shift
Let us take
in
that away.
Jamaica's corporate history in decades.
Because it seems like the empire around Andrew Holness is falling. The empire around Michael Andrew Holness seems to be falling. Now, people, look at this. We are going to show you Michael Leachin yacht, prestigious yacht. But what we have seen in terms of, let me explain this before me show you the yacht, the luxurious yacht. We have tracked and seen a pattern as it relates to the Ponzi scheme, NCB, Michael Leachin, and the pattern is so clear that when these Ponzi schemes are up and running, right, we have seen where Michael Leachin purchased yacht. But when they collapse, right? He normally sold the yachts, right? Now, I am not saying that. Let me ask a question. I prefer to ask a question. Michael Leachin, is it a situation that you're involved in money laundering? I'm just asking a question. That investors' money being used to put into yacht, then you keep the yacht for a year and then sell it after, because we have seen a pattern with that. We have seen a pattern between Olint and SSL. When those Ponzi scheme up and running, right? We see where yacht purchase, and we also see Andrew Owness purchase a yacht. Andrew Owness, right? And another person that I don't remember the name right now. I am going to bring that information on the next live to show you that the Integrity Commission investigators also capture that information where Andrew Owness and this person, right, purchased a yacht. Yes,
Queenie.
Andrew Owness have a yacht. So then
Queenie purchase a yacht too, you know.
Well, a yacht is them.
Yeah, Queenie
Okay.
purchase a yacht.
All right. So let us look on Michael Leachin yacht. Luxury now. Full of luxury. Let us look at this. Let us look at this, people. Here it is. This is Michael Leachin yacht. Rocks to riches billionaire Michael Leachin sold his 300 million ARPO mega yacht for a $62 million profit to pro hockey turned billionaire businessman Patrick Duvigi. The 377-foot long vessel has a massive IMAX movie theater, a Turkish Amman, and a winter garden. You hear that, people? See that there? It have all a helicopter launching pad. See at the front there, the helicopter launching pad. See the big H marking at the helicopter launching pad. So you see how luxurious. Now make it really nice. Michael Leachin 300 million super yacht Alpha, rightfully called a floating 5-star resort, was sold for a staggering $362 million. The glorious 378 feet Lurson super yacht was renamed Lady Georgia. But let us look at the yacht. See the helicopter launching pad here, right? Look at melting pot. See it here?
See it, brother.
All right, we're going to go inside of the yacht now. See inside of the yacht here? With all a jacuzzi and pool inside of the yacht, you know.
Yeah, man.
Jacuzzi and pool. But it's sad though. It's sad to know that is it a situation where investors' money being peddling to facilitate these sort of lifestyle. It can't right. It's can't right. Look. No, look for the yacht, no, man. Look for the yacht. Many people are suffering now. A lot of investors lose their money. You know, see the helicopter they live for the launching pad there. See the helicopter coming off the launching pad, and might be the helicopter belongs to him. You know, who tell? We don't know. Look there, melting pot.
Yeah, man.
Mighty goodness.
Remember this, you know, wax lyric in a UK, you know, from Panorama.
Look at this. This is the movie theater, you know. In the yacht, you know. Movie theater. In the yacht, you know. Want to see the lifestyle where the man live? Look at this. Look at this. Mighty goodness. Boy, the investors, them are Allah. No, sir. All right, let us take this away. I want to show that. Why? This can't right. This cannot be right. Now, since I am talking, let us show that WikiLeaks investigated NCB. WikiLeaks had investigated NCB. And what we found, what WikiLeaks found, is a damning pattern of Ponzi scheme found NCB as a safe haven, where all the money went into NCB and then it disappeared. Cash plus money went into NCB, then it disappeared. SSL money went into NCB and then it disappeared. You have seen where 140,000 US dollars leave from SSL, goes into NCB, where Andrew owners take out an account with $0. Are we lying? That is the Integrity Commission investigating report. You know, we only show you the link. You understand? Is it possible that Michael Leachin linked with this? No. Based on certain information that also Michael Leachin have an account in SSL in St. Lucia. People, this not funny, you know. This not funny. This not funny. Michael Leachin also have a stake in St. Lucia SSL. Yes, Michael Leachin has a stake in Stocks and Security Limited in St. Lucia. So you see the commonality? Now let us get into that document. Let us get into that document. Bring up Michael Leachin 1 and 2. So when we see all of this, there's a clear trend here, right? Remember, you know, we are not accusing him. We are not the ones who have done that investigation. It is WikiLeaks, right? We're only showing what WikiLeaks have on NCB and where WikiLeaks is reporting the pattern. Here it is, right? Classified by Nathan Carter for a reason, 1.4, right? Following in the part of several other alternative investment schemes, Cash Plus, Carif, Worldwise, CREFTELs, foreign currency trader Olin appears to have collapsed, led by CEO David Smith. Olin built a strong following in Jamaica, promising returns of 10% per month. This is an information that I carried earlier today. Unlike other schemes on the island, Olin appealed to more sophisticated investors. You hear that, people? It was subject to a cease and desist order by the Financial Service Commission in late 2006, which also led to months of court battles with the National Commercial Bank. You hear, people? Which had sought to close Olin's account. Smith moved his operation to Turks and Caicos in March 2006, although the bank accounts remain with NCB. Look now, Olin's offices and Smith's home were subject to a raid by police in Turks and Caicos in July 11. Press reports indicated that Smith's assets were frozen and that he is under investigation for possible financial crimes as it relates to what now we have seen you cross-carry right now in the midst of this. Although no charges have been filed, many investors have not received monthly payouts since the beginning of the year. Although Jamaica has weathered the collapse of previous schemes, the demise of Olin could cause a negative ripple effect through the already weakened Jamaican economy. Now, listen up, people. Dennis Cohen, Deputy Group Managing Director at NCB, expressed concern about the collapse of Olin, saying it could hurt the overall economy. Jamaica is already reeling from the rising food and energy prices, which have hurt growth prospect for the coming year. Now, Cohen told NCOF on July 21st that NCB, National Commercial Bank, had filed documents with the court stating that despite public perception that there is between US dollars 50 to 200 million dollars, in Olin's accounts, in fact, there are virtually no funds left. Want to hear that, people? No funds left. Cohen said the courts have sealed the documents because it is concerned it could create a panic if investors were aware that there is no money in Olin's account. So between the 50 to 200 million dollar, it just disappears, so. It just disappears, so in NCB. Now, NCOF has spoken to many contacts in the private sector and government of Jamaica who had money in Orient. Let me read back that over, people. NCOF has spoken to many contacts in the private sector and government of Jamaica. On the corruption, what the PSOJ and government members involving. On the corruption. NCOF has spoken to many contacts in the private sector and government of Jamaica who had money in Orient. And let me say that, some investors recognized that it was a high-risk currency trading scheme, Ponzi scheme. But the common opinion seemed to be that CIMIC had a legitimate financial background and had proven system for currency trading. That's why I don't want nobody come tell me about no form of trading, Whether no sitting the currency or crypto this or kryptonite data or rare, me don't want nobody tell me nothing about them. There's something there. This perception may have given investors a false sense of security. The press has reported that a number of high-ranking politicians from both major political parties are among Orient investors. Take that away. Right? And let us get to the next document. Right? Let us get to the next document, people. If you're not busy, come here. If you're not busy, come here. Now, look at getting it. Because this is clear corruption from NCB. And the question that I've asked earlier, I am asking it again. Because just imagine now, people, that NCB, the same behavior with NCB, where people, this is all more you think. Because what I'm going to say is facts. The same behavior as it relates to NCB, and I'm putting the blame on Michael Leachin. Why? Because Michael Leachin has the most shares in NCB. So Michael Leachin owns NCB. So then Michael Leachin Bank start to provide what we call a safe net for Ponzi scheme. You are going to tell me, Jamaica, that NCB did not investigate as it relates to billions of dollars going through the banking system to understand the source as it relates to, of course, yes, investors, they invest. But being that investors being promised, right, to be benefited from a 10%, right, monthly increase, 10% of whatever you put in, right? The bank did not realize that these investors are not getting the reflection of their 10%. So for Orient last, right, for 2 or 3 years before being arrested. Within the duration, NCB did not realize that Orient mission statement, they are not executing on their mission statement, right, in terms of honoring those payments to those investors. Then, okay, that happened with Orient, and NCB put a safe net to Orient. NCB also gone in a cash plus. Then that happened to cash plus. NCB also gone deal with SSL. Now, on what's the pattern now? Now, Andrew Holness gone in a Orient. Investors get robbed. Andrew Holness would have known that people are bad for their money. Andrew Holness, like NCB, gone in a cash plus, where investors get robbed again. And like how NCB moved from cash plus to SSL, Andrew Holness also moved from cash plus to SSL. Then people who see the pattern between Andrew Holness and Michael Leachin. You don't see the pattern. You don't say the two items, they sing the same song. You don't see it say the two items them, they wear the same shoes and I wear the same size. You don't see that? Based on their actions. Right? And so then, all three Ponzi scheme, Michael Leachin Bank responsible. All three Ponzi scheme, Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz responsible. Me only build the background and it in this. Me could read it. Cohen said he knows of one investor who had more than $4 million in a Orient. And this looked like Andrew Holness. Because remember, a portion of the investigation report is talking about how much $1 million that the Integrity Commission investigators discovered in a Orient for Andrew Holness. And Seaga now in a WikiLeaks. Seaga, Cohen said he knows of one investor who had more than $4 million in Orient. I could have who this investor here is. Now, other business owners had put their working capital with Orient as a way to boost revenue. He suggested that the collapse of Orient could severely hurt some local business and would certainly reduce consumer spending. Cohen said there are a number of Jamaicans who already have spent the high yield returns they thought they were getting from Orient. When they are no longer able to access their funds, it will lead to defaults on car and mortgage payment in much of them people alive, you know. Cohen's concerns have been expressed by others. Andrew Issa, a realtor who owns the Caldwell Banker franchise in Jamaica, told NCAF that he expects real estate prices to fall to 10 to 12% because of the collapse of the investment schemes on the island. You hear that, people? Issa said he already has seen contracts being rescinded by people who lost money in the various schemes. But there must be a wickedness. The CEO of International Asset Service told NCAF on July 18 that he has received a significant number of requests for bridge loans from those who could no longer access their funds in Orient. Them lock off the people their money, you know, and take away the people their money, you know. Smith has made public promises that he will make payment to investors within 9 months. The 9 months they can't come all now, you know. The 9 months they can't. So the 9 months are long money. No. There is still no firm figure of how much money was invested in Olint, you know. Estimates range anywhere from US $200 million to as much as 750 million US dollar. You hear that, melting pot?
Yeah, man.
Then you see why expensive you can buy.
Definitely.
With them a breed of money. You know, see how it's easy to buy them expensive yacht there.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
As was discovered with other schemes that already have collapsed, these figures are often widely inflated. Olint's amount could be higher than other schemes. You hear that? You hear that, melting pot? Since it appealed to more wealthy and sophisticated investors. Cohen said members of NCB staff, let them put on NCB now, including renowned investment banker and chairman of NCB, Michael Leachin. Michael who?
Leachin.
Michael who?
Leachin.
So me like when me talk a melting pot answer. We're receiving threat from those who blame NCB for all in trouble. Then, you know, the melting pot, you know, she said it's a trouble.
More than trouble.
Okay, all
Back
right.
around that.
The same situation occurred in December 2007, you know. When NCB was blamed by investors who lost money, you know. So you see it, and the first time they get blamed, you know. It is not the first time that they have gotten blamed. So this is the reason why I am saying melting pot. And say to all of the people in the chat and the people that will listen to me. Then NCB in a one passa with Olint. Right? In a bang around with Olint. And investor money get robbed up. But NCB, right? After that, NCB ganga involved again in a cash plus. And after that, NCB also ganga involved in a SSL. So you know, see a Ponzi scheme happen. NCB and Andrew Onesado.
Yeah.
Eh? But I don't like to you. No Ponzi scheme happen. NCB and Andrew Onesado.
Yeah, man.
Now,
yeah, man.
When NCB was blamed by investors who lost money in the now failed Ponzi scheme Cash Plus. So no say no lie, me I tell you. Michael Leachy, Michael what should I call it? Michael Leachy. Michael Leachin Bank. Right? Involved in a Olint. Andrew Ones involved in a Olint. Michael Leachin Bank involved in a Cash Plus. Andrew Ones and Darrell Vaz involved in a Cash Plus. Michael Leachin Bank involved in a SSL. Andrew Ones and Darrell Vaz involved in a SSL. Melting pot. Would you say that there's a pattern exists?
Yes, man.
Okay.
That's a reoccurring theme, you know, within the pattern, you know.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. The same situation occurred in December 2007 when NCB was blamed by investors who lost money in the now failed Ponzi scheme Cash Plus. So a Cash Plus problem this now, you know. Prime Minister Bruce Golding told the ambassador on July 20 that Michael Leachin had cancelled an upcoming trip to Jamaica because of threats to shoot down his helicopter. Nobody no threaten him. Him knows some people get robbed. And him a can because he no want to come back in the country because he believes they go hold on upon him. Now that it look like Benson Pat.
That it is. That it is. And there's another breach in a statement there. It's when I talk about Olint and NCB in a problem. And them create that, you know. Them a friend.
All right.
Them just put out the narrative there.
All right, so all of the melting pot come soon, let it go upon them. After several court battles, NCB was ordered by the Court of Appeal on July 18 to keep Olin's account open. Justice Seymour Patton ruled the bank lacked the power to close the accounts since there is no evidence of any proven illegal transaction in respect of conduct of the operation of accounts. So we keep it open until they rub off the investors them. We said this at high level of wickedness, man, and cruelty. We can't see it. Right? The government of Jamaica has now warned investors for months of the inherent risk of putting money in unregulated alternative investment scheme. Now, and the government involved in it. The government now, look how hypocritical the government is. 2007, Bruce Golding government. You understand the same behavior where Andrew Holness do. You understand the big up the Integrity Commission. You understand? And then when the Integrity Commission now they're investigating backside. So you see what this Bruce Golding do? You understand? Claim saying I want the people, now want nobody, you know. You understand? Because the government involved in the scheme. The government clearly involved in the scheme. Now take this away. Take this away. This is what Jamaican citizens face with. Right? Criminals in plain sight. Criminals dressed up in a jacket and tie. Criminal old big executive office. Now Melting Pot, let me let you in on this. Come in, Melting Pot.
Yeah. You see, when we look on, certain information and we dissect them both, we have to ask ourselves some fundamental questions. We see the reoccurring pattern. Yeah, we know who play with who, and what type of game them participate. The question where I want to ask, is how could NCB, move the fund them we're all in having an NCB account? That's them are all in end up in a passa. NCB could move it, and them orchestrate that dash out there to the public. You understand? Not them have friend them playing at the same arena. So we know that was a lie, but you with them don't know. Them use a 10% interest rate monthly and attract high stake player and an ordinary investor going at it, You understand? And when them do that now, and them you see where it rise to between 200 to 750 million US dollar, then them decide now it's time to strike. Because that money now can give them what them want, The vast some amount of money that. You understand? So all the money they could have just disappear from out of NCB without holding guy. When name David Williams. Or him not know all them things. And then come and tell the people them garbage. And them create it and them crash it. Because just look, them things only rise up under the GLP administration. Yeah, you see Edward Seaga time, Bruce Golding time, and now Andrew Holness time. So with NCB always listed as the bank when the transaction go through, it show you. God, there's no other bank apart from Central National Bank, that ties itself to this type of thing. And as I said, you look on the abbreviation in a Central National Bank, a CNB. You look in a National Commercial Bank, a NCB, at the same three letters them. You understand? I remember, say, NCB come on the back of Central National Bank when it collapsed. So we know, say, at the same place them, under the same administration as government. And them do these things and get to with it. And I remember saying, FinSac was designed to protect these things from happening again. And them still continue to do it because what happened? That Jamaica government buy up the band them. You understand? And clear up that in the 90s meltdown. The Shah and the whole of them benefit from that. And them rob the people of money and got walls off now the sunset and leave it from the taxpayers and the government to sort it out. That was sort out, them come back again and them do the same thing. But this time the government now sort out SSL, you know. No, because you know why? Them couldn't sort it out. Remember, you know, them bleed the country and most of the country now no money. So you think them can't throw that on the taxpayer, them couldn't do it. So what happened with an SSL now is that everybody just disappear the money. You understand? Everybody just disappear the money and things away. You know, see Nigel Clark run gone. Get film cut, you know, cause him did have him, I think more than likely. That one of the account where Pumbas preside over. Belongs to Nigel Clark. Said crash him, get film cut and him run gone. You understand? And this thing must stop in Jamaica. That's why I blame the guy in charge at the Bank of Jamaica. Because you must know so them people are on a license to angle US dollars. Yeah? Them can't angle no foreign exchange. Them can't trade that. Them not on a license, them unregulated. Bank of Jamaica guy. Him supposed to know about that. Keith Duncan. Oh, that miss him. Oh, SSL went on the stock market. Oh, that missed the people them within the circle when it no register. Oh, auditing was done on an unregulated, unregistered entity. Oh, them things that happen. So this show you said the corruption surrounding SSL was at the highest order.
Yep.
Yeah, they could get things done that should never happen. But because who were behind the Ponzi scheme are senior officials in Jamaica, such as the Prime Minister, because we know him involved in it. It tells us them could have get away with it. Under the People's National Party, it could not flourish. It could not flourish because their license were suspended. And when Andrew win, in a no time them get back them operation license. So that pointed to Andrew Holness doing these things, pulling off these stunts. You understand? That's why him could have know when to pull out, because he know a crash time, crash landing going to happen. So him pull out. And I same thing, it always happen in every one of them. The CEO them, the Ponzi scheme, them know when to pull out. That's why none of them no suffer losses. Who suffer losses? The people where them attract. You understand? So Andrew Wallace know about everything. Michael Leach know how it a run. All of them know how everything a go. And if you charge David Smith, yeah, you have to charge you Krasky for the same crime. It can't be a lesser crime. I want to tell you it's even a worse crime. So I can't hear them talk about larceny. No, it can't be larceny, a fraud. In a you Krasky case, it cannot be larceny. It must be under fraud. And that's why I shouldn't get no station deal. You can't apply misdemeanor to where him commit. No. So we are look on the system and I say, oh, so much loophole in a Jamaica system. But it only applies to the big boy them. Them loophole then apply to the ghetto people, you know. Them all and pull ghetto people. And them highlight ghetto people and make example out of ghetto people. But when them big boy are commit worse atrocity than ghetto people, we have see it water down. We have see people are get all, you know, red carpet to walk on when them are going to jailhouse. Like you Krasky. Time now and no handcuff. Criminals supposed to be in a handcuff with them hand behind them. You understand? So we are asked the question, what is going on? But we can see from afar and see where we are going at Jamaica. With the leader of the country involved in these corruption and these Ponzi schemes, then we can't expect nothing different. So everything is as a result of the Jamaica Labour Party. Whenever they are in power, corruption turn up. Yeah?
Right.
And the corruption index point out that as well. The corruption index point out that. The Ponzi scheme, them highlight that. Yeah? Under the 3 Labour Party Prime Minister, corruption turn up. Seaga started. Bruce come continue it. Andrew now him a run with it. Andrew corruption is like wildfire, you know. Yeah? A wildfire, it just a run a galang so. And it look like it have no ending. You understand? Because I think Andrew Holness would have eased up on the corruption, knowing to the facts that we run here and highlight it. It'll get coverage, yeah? But no, him continue. Him continue on the merry pathway. Because him feel like so well then, him can outsmart everybody using the corruption tool him have that exists, like the police and the judicial system. You understand? The commissioner and all these guys. So him feel like so well then as the ultimate guy which him call himself, but we know him as shit. Him can't get away with all these things. Andrew, I tell you, say, your reign is coming to an end. Cease and desist from these corrupt practices. The one them like go see you want formulate now with a $6.7 billion. With one school in a people. 400 million for 8 roof, you know. Windows and door, you know, and electrical equipment, you know. One school. And you know what one classroom look like, you know. It's not massively big, you know. So we put on 8 of them roof there. And we're not certain because we don't see nothing. We need to see the evidence. This is what we call real checks and balance. Yeah. And then we know, say, well, then boy, we are look on the school and we know the extent of the damage. And we know, say, that can't just be that alone. You have to send that to a legal tender. You understand? Where it everybody bid pay and who have the best on the table get the contract. Yeah, it can't be like you just come tell we're garbage and we run with it. We stop them things they know. So we are make Andrew and him administration. No, so well then checks and balance have to be of the highest order with this 6.7 billion US dollar. Yeah, because this are taxpayers and Andrew Holness don't like to pay tax. Him clam glamorate them when him have round him don't like to pay tax. All of them are evade tax. So the poor people in Jamaica have to pay this pan top of the trillion them we do already. Because remember Jamaica debt burden, you know, was nearly 3 trillion, you know. And right now it's about 6 trillion them put we now. So we are asked the question again, when will Andrew Holness cease and desist from corruption practice in Jamaica? When will the powers that be go and arrest this guy? This guy needs to be arrested. Him don't bigger than the constitution law in a Jamaica. Andrew Holness must be arrested for all that we've seen him done over the time, him coming to politics. One individual cannot be overshadowed by so much controversy surrounding him and all the controversy linked to corruption. What can go so? What can go so? And this is the guy where I come from the bowels of the poor. Eh? But him and him entourage in a little third world country, we have a weak economy. The whole of them become super billionaire overnight. Eh? How did Michael Leachin buy so much yacht? In a Jamaica banking system. How he makes so much money? Well, we know all of them, yeah, connected to Ponzi scheme. This is why entering the Ponzi scheme, them crash, just them buy yacht. That is the mode of operation. That's how them clean up the dirty money, them. When the Ponzi scheme, them crash, them buy a yacht. And them don't keep the yacht. No, a guy was wealthy, you know. Like Michael Leach Chink. Guy suck the blood of the Jamaican, you know, people in my bank with him. I'm not chilling anymore. My Michael Leach Chink. Yeah? A guy like that, you know. We have so much millions and billions. Yeah? And if you want to live your life in a luxury style, why when you buy a super luxury yacht, you sell it? But the yacht come with so much feature. Yeah, because a yacht with them it has a feature, you know. BBC Panorama feature it because them say them not see nothing like that. Me watch it when the story break. Them never see nothing like that. And any yacht have place with helicopter land pan, you know. Have its own high stake movie arena, spa, swimming pool, this, that. The highest of luxury is on that yacht. But him did not keep it. Him sell it on. Him sell it on for over 300 million. Yeah, I think BBC reported it was sold for 360 million US.
That is correct. That is correct. Melting pot.
Good. So I know the full details surrounding this yacht. And I know, say, them always have a yacht when the time the Ponzi scheme them crash. So even when you hear Wellington NCB, say them in a passa, lie them a tell, man. Lie them a tell. Because you couldn't put your money in our bank. Yeah? But it gone. You could never do that. The amount of money. Or it leave out a NCB. That's no, you're holding in a quarter. No, that was a lie, people. But I saw them operate and the lie continue. Because remember, you know, we see which part Citibank people ever tell lie for Andrew. We see where Andrew tell lie, say him not involved in a SSL.
What?
Now these are clear pointers to show anybody what is going on. Yeah? And so, based on the fact that the Prime Minister involved in these Ponzi scheme and is a part of the corruption ring, I don't think Jamaica need him to be the Prime Minister. And I don't think Umbrella Group of Church should be supporting this guy and taking money from him. Umbrella Group of Church is aiding and abetting Andrew Wallace crime and corruption in Jamaica. The church supposed to recluse themselves from this guy. Just like how Dennis Chung want to recluse himself from FID. You understand? Because we know everything surrounding him appointment, you know. Him know about the guy accountant paperwork. Because him used to do it for him. So being of a person with knowledge surrounding Andrew. Andrew feel like when them put him there, yeah, appoint him as the man for going to FID. Him could have done nothing. Him can't do nothing. Nothing there for him. Him can't go clean and change up nothing. But then again, him would have come and stop because the crowd report would have show everything. Yeah? So, Andrew, you what you do now with Jamaican taxpayers and you owe it to them, you know. You're obligated to release the crowd report. And you also, your party also obligated to release the FinTech report. This must tell Jamaica people who are the corrupt players them in Jamaica. It is the Jamaica Labour Party people them. Without them, Jamaica would be paradise. But you can't have crablouse and lice around the country. You're not going to get no paradise. Because all of the Labour Party Prime Minister them who are no crablouse, them are lies. And you know them thing they do, them suck blood. And them are suck out the people in blood in Jamaica. Right? Leeching suck out the people in blood in Jamaica. Where your money in the bank, you left it there. For them use it and turn it over and make money for themselves. And get a little interest. What them do? Them take your own all various type of charges when it applies in a banking sector. And this was allowed to continue in Jamaica for more than 10 years now. I know it go on. Yeah? So the people them down a bank of Jamaica, the Prime Minister, and everybody were concerned with financing of the country. They're all culpable to these charges. Yeah? This is also another Ponzi scheme when nobody now look on. Your money in a bank, but bank I take your money. When you go there, your money depreciate. It not appreciate, no increase. You not get no interest by your money. Your money just a decrease. So what's the sense of banking? I have never heard this anywhere else in the world but Jamaica. Yeah. So always say I'm going in Jamaica. The Labour Party government must be blamed. They are the high-stake players in the corruption ring in Jamaica. Jamaican must take a stance against this Labour Party regime. We must get rid of this Labour Party once and for all from the due political process. We need another party to go alongside with the People's National Party. We don't need any more from the Jamaica Labour Party, because what the Jamaica Labour Party has to offer Jamaica is corruption of the highest order, where these people suck the poor people blood and leave them to perish. And I yield back the floor to you, my brother.
All right, blessings. All right, let us move now to another serious issue here. I'm going to show Jamaicans that Andrew Holness have no sympathy as it relates to, Hurricane Melissa victims. He has no sympathy. I am going to show you what Andrew Holness is doing. And this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Right? You're going to tell me that 2 months after the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, Andrew Holness administration had not finalized the expenditures of hurricane relief aid to meet out to the people. Even now, he has not done that. Only watch this, people. Look on this. This is not funny. Look on this, people. Look on this, people. Watch out. This man, Thursday, January 1st, 2026, Cabinet to finalize Hurricane Reconstruction Assistance Program for affected person. Will not tell me say Andrew Holness no wicked man. People talk to me now. You can't tell me say this man no wicked. You can't tell me say this man of the heart of the devil. Eh? After 2 months, the man get how much aid, how much him have the billions of dollars money that IMF right had given him taxpayers' money, because the taxpayers won't pay back that. But yet, JPS get 150 million. But we don't know if JPS is going to get roughly about 300 or 400 million out of that. I know the suffering people who feel the blunt of Hurricane Melissa have not received nothing in terms of a program that ready to ensure that we build back resilience, right? To put back the people on their feet. You are going to tell me now that cabinet to finalize, not finalize yet? No man, this is unbelievable, my brother. This is something unbelievable. Cabinet to finalize Hurricane Reconstruction Assistance Program for affected person. It not finalized yet. No, sir. No, sir. Cabinet is set on Monday to decide the levels of financial assistance as well as building material support to be provided to households affected by Hurricane Melissa. I'm not telling me say this man no Satan. No Satan, this will look on the living flesh. Eh? Speaking in Black River, St. Elizabeth last night at a New Year fireworks show, Prime Minister Andrew Holness disclosed that more than 50,000 damage assessment across the affected areas of the island including heavily impacted communities in Black River, have been completed. Now, the damage assessment, was supposed to start to begin, right, immediately after the aftermath, The damage assessment, right, so that people can be quickly aided and assisted, and resilience can be quickly built back. The man claims that he just finished that, Ratty George. No, sir. Only said the exercise will be used to determine the level of assistance to be provided. You hear that, people? Using factors such as complete or partial damage to homes. A bureaucracy now the man are put in, Bureaucracy now to marginalize some people, So I'm sorry for them, the people there who don't have certain identification, at this the man are going, I'm sorry for them, the people there, So all of them people that will live upon them, the land now like 10 and 20 years. And them don't have no identification, right, or proof of ownership. I gone them the land, they gone fund the people there, Yo, you tell me, say, people, you tell me. You tell me, say, the man are not wicked. Tell me, say, Andrew Holness is not the devil. Previously, he indicated that the government plans to move from providing relief aid to affected person to a cash voucher system. Yes, no. A year so now the real robbery are starting as it relates to the cash voucher system. Because a theme friend them go run them voucher, Yo, me say everything. Look here. Let me take away the document, man, because trust me, my head at me. My head at me, brother. Now, look here now. Knowing to the fact that you don't even have no plan yet, because that is future reference to futuristically speaking. But see who you have interest in here. You come along them who support you. You know say you politicize the whole thing. Watch this. See it here? Look, even your one minister that talk against you.
Government members pushing back strongly against his own administration's decision to allocate $75 million to the Social Development Commission to assist churches and faith-based organizations impacted by Hurricane Melissa.
The announcement, intended to signal inclusivity in the national recovery effort, is now the source of controversy. Details in this report.
There's no logic in this. Let us look for the people who are suffering out there. That's what the government ought.
Why me not lie? Me not lie. Warmington, me have to big up on a one.
Remember, it's a backbench, so yes.
Why, Warmington, you know some cuss you like dog, Because more time you're doggish. I may have to give it to you. But this time, Warmington, me the player side fully. Me have to back you. When you just say Warmington, let me play it back over. When you just say Warmington, let me hear what you say Warmington.
In this, let us look for the people who are suffering out there. That's what the government ought to be doing, instead of propping up the churches with cash when they're already flooded with cash.
Member of Parliament for St. Catharines Southwestern Everett Warmington rejecting the government's decision to allocate $75 million to support churches and faith-based institutions in rebuilding efforts following Hurricane Melissa. The announcement, which was made by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness last week, has left Mr. Warmington with a number of questions. Among them, how was the decision made and what will the funds be used for?
The last report is that the churches have billions of dollars in their account. So I believe at this time the church ought to step up to the plate and assist the membership that were affected. Those members were affected. This is a time when they should be assisting their members from this vast amount of cash that they have, because the members have been giving. So it's time for them to give back.
However, Dr. Holness emphasized the vital role of churches in society, noting their collaboration with the government and other agencies in the hurricane relief effort. He added that some congregations are having their services under tents, and so special provisions were made. Mr. Warmington stressed he's not against the church, but insists the funds could be better used to support families still displaced.
Those who have denomination of churches close together, combine these membership into one building. Because most of these churches, anyone on a Sunday, don't have anybody in them. Very few people are in these churches. So the best they can do is to combine the membership at one location and having all these structures all over the place. It's not the duty of government to rebuild the churches. There's a separation of church and state. So I don't see why the government will be stepping up to rebuilding these churches. It's not our duty. I'm not against the church. I'm a part of the church. But funds should not be going to, taxpayers' funds should not be going to religious institutions or organizations in this fashion.
No, sir. Hey, look here.
While Donald...
No, look here. Me have to big up Warmington, Panawana. Me have to big up Warmington, Panawana. Because it is earlier on the clip, you know. I have been saying the same thing, you know, and show document, you know. I show the document where the church been making billions of dollars, you know. So then where Andrew Owner's priority lies.
More concerned about the church and that thing.
Me not tell you the man are evil, man. The man are 100% evil. That's even Warmington now. They call him out on it. And I said, no, man, take care of the people that will suffer. The church have billions of dollars already. That's Warmington. I said, it is the church responsibility to give back to some of their church members to help them.
He's right.
And he's right. So when you see the level of corruption, the level of using ministers as victimizing them to gain political mileage, using them as political spawns. So that's why Unusi say umbrella group of churches silent when it comes to Andrew Owner's corruption. So the money, I know, $75 million, I know, hush money. It is for their support, their continuous support. Want to get what I say? Sir Mystic Warmington changed his word. He said the churches misunderstood what he was saying. No, I don't know what the church said in terms of Warmington saying that the church misunderstood what he's saying. Might be the church is saying that Warmington might be is going against the church, right? Remember that Warmington said that he's not going against the church. He's a part of the church. But the allocation must serve its purpose to the right people who are suffering. So we can, you know, we have to make sure that we are, you know, interpreting it properly, right? If Warmington did go back on his statement and said, okay, yes, the church is to be facilitated with the funds, then you could say now Warmington changing his words, right? So then, I am saying down to Warmington now, calling out his own government after wrongdoing, because this is ultimate evil. Ultimate evil. So when you look at a situation like this, my people, you see the ultimate wickedness in Andrew Owner's, that in spite of all of the relief aid, let me show you some of the relief aid what Andrew Owner's get and sit down on it. I mean, sit down on it. And I give the church, you understand, over $70 million. While Andrew, hey, yo, you know what, wicked, and this is what, hey, look here, the man wicked, you know. Man wicked, the man no sorry for poor people, you know. Him no sorry for poor people. Now, let me show you. Prime Minister Owners welcome continued. Look on this. Look on the amount of aid what the man sit down upon. And now we can't get an independent task force to provide oversight for ADPEM. And now we can't get that. And now we can't get that, people. Unnecessary some money and Satan, man. See that? Prime Minister Owners welcome continued U.S. partnership in Jamaica's recovery with additional US dollars, $10 million. $10 million US dollars in hurricane relief support. Take with that money. Right? And we need to have a checks and balances as it relates to all of these monies that Andrew Wallace have been getting. What is the status of these monies? The money is getting billions of dollars. And people are suffering. The reason why we are asking, because Andrew Wallace cannot show 2 or 3 houses when that he has done. You understand? Since, from 2 months. He can't show no house. You understand? As it relates to the recovery, the program not lift off yet. 2 months gone, you know. And the program not lift off yet, you know. But yet, he might issue out $75 million to church. He might give JPS $150 million US dollar. And he might look for squeeze money. But listen, melting pot. Right? Because we are in the closing of the show. You understand? And we are upon the last piece. So take the last piece and close us out. Yes, melting pot. Go ahead.
You know, we have to look on the church, you know. Yeah. And we have to ask the question. Church now no sympathy and them now no empathy. The church now use a word called solidarity. Churches do not say the people them not get no look after yet from the government. So why we not accept the 75 million when we not sit down for $17 billion?
Wicked man.
Eh? So sometime, you know, you have to look on the receiver, you know, not the giver, you know. Because you can't go thief and cannot come give me and me know say you're a thief, you know. Me no want it. I go tell you no. So if the church knows say the money, the 6.7 billion US dollar where the government get is to undertake the restoration program.
Yeah. Turn off the voice in about.
Then why the church at take 75 million?
All right. Hold on a melting pot. Hold on a melting pot. We have a caller on the line. Yes, caller, go ahead.
Sorry about the background line. Sorry.
Oh, you ready? Are you this?
Yes, man.
Yes.
Virgil, I don't know. I am not an artless person.
Yes.
But I don't know if we can. But I don't know if it's some other people, you know.
Yeah, me see say reach your arm.
We don't know if it's some other people here. Right? The good have to suffer with the bad in this situation because of the law. So everybody for 14 back that's it there in the country.
Speak up, tell them to speak up a little more.
Speak up a little more rural. The people them say them now hear you properly.
No, I say the people them know say everybody for 14 back that's it there in the country. Right? But because of corruption and licky, they're voting back this government in our country and see it at this them get for their vote, what they vote for.
Well, I tell you, wicked.
Eh?
We can't describe this as wickedness.
2 months after people house brushed down, nobody live nowhere. You ever talk about you just are gonna do the cabinet just are gonna sign off pan?
Madness.
Yeah, tell me, you're so wicked and bad and corrupted that you couldn't go put on 2 people roof and say this amount spent and carry a couple cabinet and say this we spend. You have to do all of this full assessment, this, that,
whatever. Me say if it was Michael Manley or Portia or PJ or Mark Golden, the people them get assistance long time. You understand? People will get them house being rebuilt long time. I can't believe what I read, you know.
And the food people don't realize what the man never do. The man about thief, the man a stock the money. A stock up the money for go buy back election. A campaign, the man start campaign already with this, you know.
Because I saw for local government election.
Well. Well, this stuff you read, I'm not lying.
We're sorry, we have to sorry for them, you know. We're sorry, we have to sorry for them because you can't do more sorry for them. I'm certain to say a lot of them people will suffer, right? And who for them vote for the Jamaica Labour Party? And who don't vote for Jamaica Labour Party are good for them. Who don't vote for Labour Party, they take the Labour Party money and don't go vote. And see it at this one again.
This thing get.
Yeah, the man I tell you, you know. It's simple and easy, Bridget, if you know regulated, put up at the house, regulate, put on water and light and put up infrastructure and make a move on and get the ball rolling. You have to go back in the land agency now to go find land, find certificate people before you can give people 2 pound of sugar.
I'm mad this man. After 2 months, the man so-called just a finished assessment. After 2 months, you just a finished assessment.
But say Portland and St. Mary, as we speak, a flood out.
Right?
Portland and St. Mary underwater as we speak.
And as we speak, we say Portland and St. Mary, the flood out right now underwater.
This is already St. Mary today. You never see that yet.
Because
I know some place we see flood today and St. Mary, I know the place there. A long time I heard it, but the place never flooded. But
because nature identify Andrew Holness as an evil, you know. So nature not stop and fight against him, you know. Until him come out of power. The man is 100% natural evil. I mean, I tell people that, and it seems like the people them now hear what I say.
Belly full, hungry. And that's what they do. They keep the people hungry. See the man started my election already. I'm talking about him and give people $20,000 for what?
Madness this man.
People in a whatever category, you give them $20,000. While people do not know the place suffer, come together and organize the thing, get the thing rolling and move on. When you don't have your done spend out the money, then you go back in the parliament and say, all right, can the sheet come show us how to build 50 hours, this is the cost for the 50 hours, and that's how money spent.
But after people are suffer.
Because you don't want the money to touch the money, you're stuck money. If you thief the people about the thief, they relieve money.
Yo, but that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing, right? Coming up with the beers and coming up with the arts out of bureaucracy, you understand? To thief the people their money. And that's what I do.
The money never given to him, the money come and just show protocol the people and say how they are selling through the government. I don't feel about the budget, give the people the money, can the money go give the people them? If you give out what you get and you don't know enough, calm at the people and say, boy, you don't enough, so give me some more. What kind of assessment? What kind of ID if you get voucher to go do it?
And that process is going to take a long time too.
But somebody get a good deal of
yes, my brother.
what you're making.
You see. The bottom of the corruption set up in this country, we don't know.
And when Parliament resumes, queues are coming?
We don't know what we get over this. Right? We don't know what we get over this because this not good, this not good.
Yo, this wicked man, this extremely wicked, my brother. But you know, time is up on us. We only have 19 minutes on the clock.
Mr. Afuno, research this and that.
All right, bless up yourself, Ruel.
For 2 weeks, I go sleep, Bridget, and left the people, man. Them people are not about themselves.
All right, Ruel. Thank you for the input. All right, now, Melting Pot, we have 19 minutes on the clock. Right, use it up.
Yeah, man, and you can hear how, you know, the caller sound, you know.
Yeah, man, the
It's
caller
hard,
sound set up. Everybody
you know. And this caller alone, this hard to do I go on at Jamaica, you know. Even we, on the panel, it's hard, but, you know, we have to just carry on the work. You understand?
Yes.
We can't give up because, I mean, we come too far. You know, we not turn back, you know. We have to accomplish the task at hand. But going back to my point, yeah, the church, them, you know, are some hypocrite, them, you know. Yeah. I call them on a church, you know. We are deal with the philosophy of Christ, you know. Remember, as a society group assembly, I call themselves church, you know. Them not Christian. Yeah. Them people are some money grabber. That's why you see them sit down on the wealth, you know. Remember them collect the collection in a Christ name. But it's not them bank account in a for them name. Them are criminal. You understand? And majority of people are really in the churches right now. You can't tell them that. Because the church supposed to reject the 75 million. I know Andrew only should have started the restoration program and rebuilding back the people them home. You understand? When Christ was around, him not preaching at church, you know, so church are not a priority. I mean, I want a guy come tell about the church important to Jamaica and the community. We all know what role the church play in our society. Yeah, but them not that important right now. God only for pedophiles in the church, rapists and all these things in the church, con artists in the church. You understand? Them deal with all type of levels of corruption within the church. The church are not something wholesome like one time gone. One time gone when the pastor got to church, he have a little briefcase, him either walk or him ride a bicycle. An iron vehicle, them people that take go to church and them own them. You understand? So, to hell with the church right now. That me I say. You understand? And because me not have nothing on me for God. Yeah, God a God, church a church. To hell with them. God them corrupt. Nobody no say umbrella group of churches come out when the state kill off the youth, them and say nothing, you know. Yeah, but them are well accomplished at the Jamaica Labour Party. Them and them in a bed. Andrew and the church in a bed. And Jamaica people have to know that. You understand? So when him bypass the people in life, yeah, and I talk about approval in a parliament in the coming week, then you approve 75 million for the churches then.
Exactly.
You approve that for the churches. Yeah. You approve 100 million to JPS. We have shareholders from overseas. We control 80% of the shares. I don't understand where I go on. So, but me know what the guy I deal with, you know. The guy I sit down and I talk out the people, yeah, and I wait for people to get them own independent help, whether from foreign or whatever means. And that's my doing, you know. Yeah, because when you sit down out there underneath that tent, you know, and you're out there exposed to the element, you know, then you are going to get frustrated because you know no help come from the government. So you have to mobilize your own space. You understand? By going and seeking your own assistance. But that should make us 6.7 billion US dollar come. On top of the 150 from the cat ban, on top of the 70 from the CRIF, plus an extra 20 million US dollar, plus another 10 US million coming there again. I want it for money the guys don't want. Right now, the guys having a wheel of a time while the people out there suffer day and night. This guy is an evil piece of son of a bitch. This guy, with Jamaica, yeah, give them support to be the prime minister, is an evil son of a bitch. Him no good. So when we see the church, them affiliated with him, Me know the church, them just not good. Them is just like Andrew Holness. Them is just like Andrew Holness. Just look who you see round Juliet Holness. I issue out gas voucher. He's a gunman pastor, you know, right there low, you know. An unknown pedophile, Edgerton Newman. Jamaica, if that's not disgrace, me don't know what is disgrace. The Speaker of the House is in the presence of a gunman pastor and a well-known pedophilist. I see the two of them say them a run church in a Mandeville. You know, sister, the church paternity gone to the dog. When you have Ridel Rowe and Edgerton Newman say them a run church in a Mandeville. God Almighty, if a desert Christianity faith gone, it gone in a septic pit. God, them the two individuals, they are two shit house. Remember Ridel Rowe, you know? Him charged for all type of things, you know. Illegal possession of firearm and robbery with intent. And Edgerton Newman charged for pedophile. They are 12-year-old girl. But we see them around Juliet Holness. I remember this guy around a church and mix all sitting and give man a yard. Hardly Shaw. Him give him something name me not dead yet. And me not see the guy come back all now. I don't see the guy come back all now. You understand? And at one point in time, this said Ridel Road name was called to replace Hardly Shaw in a government election with it. A bun, we have to bun it. Them kind of ease back. Yeah. So when you see Andrew do, him link with the church because you have some dunce woman and man of God church. Them are real dunce. When we say them are dunce, them are dunce. Hitch up in a church with all type of criminal, rapists and pedophiles. Yeah. And I give them support like them now no send some big nasty woman me see. Dead side of Ridel Road on a Mandeville. Ridel Road do all type of thing with them. All type of things with them. And them yield to him. Them yield to him, you know. Them yield to him. And not just him alone I do it. Make them then yield to Kevin Smith too. Yeah? These are the things what we see in Jamaica. That's why we have to burn them like that. People who don't want to reconcile with God through the one heart, on the one thought. Sit down on the yard and read the Bible. Sing one hymn and give praise to Jah. And stop each up in a church. Stop each up in a church. Them none of them no good. None. Cause remember, you know, years gone by them I tell you say it's easy for a camel go through the eye of an eagle and a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. You know, see the whole of them rich now. The whole of them rich. All of them we are run church rich. So we know so the church are part of the corruption as well. Because if church did not put pressure upon the government, you know, in the state are killing by the state with civilian, you know, that would have stopped or reduced. Because in my country where I live, you know, the police are kill civilian like in Jamaica. And we have more millions of people that live here. Nearly 35 times when they're in Jamaica. But yet still we don't have one a day killing by police officers. Police officers when do patrol pan through community. They not a gun. They don't carry gun. When you see armed police, you know something serious in our society. But in Jamaica, them ride from vehicle back with be a long gun a pine and scare off the citizens them. Now him twin them with this JDF. You see them a go all about and shoot up people's house. Look how many Jamaicans were killed in the confinement of their own home. This is a serious matter. Your home is something we're supposed to protect you and safeguard you. And a man not supposed to come kill you in your house. If you're in your house, you're supposed to be arrested if them come. Oh, them in a people house. So much of them, but them a man a shoot out, but man never shoot none of them. None of them never get injured. But the occupant for the home always get fatality. Something is wrong. So umbrella group at church, we know no silent because we're not part of Andrew Holness and the Labour Party corruption. We don't need no umbrella group of no church in a Jamaica. Yeah, we don't need no umbrella group of church in a Jamaica. At times, Jamaican recognize that and run with them garbage up. Them suppress the black people in a Jamaica and rob them past Sunday. Suppress them right through the week, them and the government. And rob them up on Sunday, I won't do. Keep on a little money for feed on yourself, man. I'll uplift on a life. Load the garbage, them. Them are garbage. Me have experience of when me see a church too. Right now the UK, yeah. Right now the UK. Enough time it bleed me heart. Because them have a lady that attend the church. She was almost 100-year-old. And when she could not attend no more, them leave her. Them leave her in up on her own, you know. At nearly 100-year-old, the woman have to pay for people come in, come tidy up her home. £15 an hour, she could manage it. And the church, the big nasty thinking church, you know, them are collect all money from football supporters, call them park footballers carrying them in the churchyard. Them no give no member nothing for the football money where them are collect. And them collect thousands of pounds every year. And I the member, because me know it before it asphalt. When them want the money for asphalt, they ask the membership. After them throw them offering to put a special contribution towards the tarmac. The tarmac, and them make thousands of pounds. And my God, them keep it for themselves. Me no in a nut with no church. Me in a sup with my God. To hell with the churches. And when me attack it from the depths of my heart. To hell with them. We can do without them. Them is a menace to society. Just look on Jamaica and we know what me I talk about. Jamaica have the most church per capita square mile anywhere in the world. We have the most crime. Jamaica have the most crime per capita square mile than anywhere else in the world. Jamaica is known as one of the highest murder country in the world. Kingston, one of the highest murder capital in the world. But yet still we have a bag of church that take up the land space them. I take up the land space them. Not paying no tax to them. Operating like them as a fraud entity. Robbing the people them on Sunday. Some of them will keep church right through the week now. Right through the week. And Jamaican people are buying it. And you think them can't pray for no? You think them can't pray for no? I trick the people them a trick and con. Them can't pray for no. Here, it's on God can't help you out there. No pastor, no evangelist, no deacon can't help you in Jamaica. It's on God. And the only time God will intervene in Jamaica right now when Andrew Holness leave the arena and several of the member of parliament and the criminal them. I see George wrong. Beat the woman. Beat her with a stool. I never hear umbrella group at churches come out and say nothing about that. So we know to hell with umbrella group at church. To hell with Jamaica for justice. We need people intervention now. Yeah? Them shit organization, they're not doing nothing for Jamaicans. Nothing. More than get some what you call it now, highlight in a media circle. And you see them a itch up and them name a call. When the government in a some hot water, hear them call upon them. So you know, so them are them cronies. They are their cronies. That's why the government always mention them. Them and him a friend. And we have to call the spade a spade. We not call it the heart, nor no anchor. When we see a one in a Jamaica, if them people that was independent and true to the cause, they would have come out and shed light on a lot of situation. But them quiet. You can imagine Ramario Sterling death. Where you see a swarm of police and soldiers go for one little man. And then put out some fictitious report, say shootout. When we are watch everything how it unfold, a man surrender himself and get a gunshot to him head after deliberation between the shooter and another of his colleagues that was a bystander close by. That one looked like him have something about him. Him couldn't witness it. So him tell himself to move away. And him give Ramario Sterling one fatal to the head. Did I hear umbrella group of churches? No. They were silent. Silent. So when we are talking about the churches, you know, I know because we don't love God. God are not church, because God never operate a church. God are God. Church are church. So let us draw the line and make the comparison. This have nothing to do with God. This have something to do with the criminal church them we are operating at Jamaica. And the criminal people them we are run the church in Jamaica. You know, so if you bury your dead, know what you have to give the pastor to use the church. Just take a look at that, my people. To bury your dead, you have to have thousands of dollars to give to the pastor to get the use of the church. So we ask the question, is the church an entity that pride itself on lucrative deal? Eh? Is it a commercial entity? What is the church selling? Got too much money, a chains on in the church, big money too, so it must have sell something. I hear some salvation or something free, you know. Can't free when you pay. You pay too much in a church. Too much people fall victim at this organization. Too many people. I remember one pastor rape out a whole family, you know. A 3 sister, you know. Impregnate 2 and now mind them. Piece of shit. Loan some have to send him away for 8 years. And what was so disgraceful about that circumstance was that all of the big nasty woman them in the church was defending the pastor, saying not do it. Even on the day when them are taking away in the Black Marriott, them they are going with them little hanky-panky, like the pastor innocent. No pastor can innocent if your sex have 2 sisters. Yeah? And you're not them pregnant and have kids for you. You not mind them send the little one, and you never partial with she, you knock she too. So the 3 sisters. And the big nasty woman them in the church, say him not guilty. And we know about several more. We know about several more. There was one occasion on a Sunday. A car was parked alongside the Iron Shore main road in Montego Bay. And police pass and see the car a dance, disco. And curiosity lend them to go and investigate. When them look inside of them saw 2 same sex. Them saw 2 same sex. So we know it's pure nastiness and germs and corruption in the church. Pure nastiness and germs and corruption in the church. That are no God. So my Jamaican people, We don't have to draw the line and make the comparison between God and church. God, this church what we have in Jamaica, they are a cause for all what you see happening in Jamaica. The church is supposed to be a voice for the community, but the church is a mouthpiece and a organ for the government and rob the community on weekend. So we have to call a spade a spade. So when Andrew Holness bypass the people who have for them life get damaged in a Melissa and start disperse the money to him friend them and him colleagues and him collabo them, which the church is one of them collabo. The church are Andrew collabo. And we have to call it out for what it is. Yeah? So when we see this thing happen, we know it wrong. We know it wrong. All of them church will mash up, Them mash up at the hands of God. Them never good in the first place. That's why I'm not spare them. And destroy them. God cleanse them and cleanse Jamaica. Remember Andrew Holness pay pastor to tell the congregation who them to vote for, Me never know all them things that could have happened. And the big narcissists pastor them and carry out the mandate where them get from Andrew Holness. And them take the money. That's why you notice, you see him itch up all about in the church them. But all the guy was saying a 7-day pastor for the church with Andrew Holness. Go all him now no shame, Him now no shame. Because no way Andrew could have come to my church as a member. I don't want him. Because remember, church is not about you having celebrity as membership, So them I look on him say my prime minister him come. No. And I say it work. Andrew should never be in any church. Here. So whichever church I facilitate him on a piece of shit. Me can't tell him that. I mean, it's a 7-day church.
Right.
7-day church on a shit.
All right, Pat, use another 2 minutes to wrap up because we have to book out early, right, as well.
So when me attack now, yeah, me I make sure set the record straight. Jamaica problem is with the government and the church and the police them. Yeah? You say we can clean up them 3 environment there, Jamaica on its way to recovery. Because you see the big boy them, when you have clean police force, them can't do nothing wrong, Cause straight prison for them, arrest and prison. When you have a government when I function and them know the church I come out. Because remember, a church and state run the world. Church and state. So when the state is in breach, the church is supposed to come out and highlight it. Not stay quiet and support it. And watch the little people in life get destroyed. Watch certain things play out in a society where you know for sure say a government rob the taxpayers' money, but yet still in a gone in a bed with Andrew. So me have to blaze the fire for uno. I mean have no fear to blaze the fire for uno. Because when me a blaze this fire, me and my God are right. That's why I'm keep me healthy and strong to come blaze the fire. Somebody has to blaze the fire. And the church must command the fire. And I yield back the floor to you, my brother.
All right. Thank you for that, Melting Pot. Well, wifey, can you close out for us?
Okay, guys. Good night to everyone. Thank you so much for your continued support. Really appreciate each and everyone. Remember to tune in with Reason with Rattigan tomorrow. We're coming on. And all the other platforms who are trying to educate our people so that we can get Jamaica in the right direction. Have a blessed and wonderful weekend. And
all right.
See you when we go on the next live.
All right,
so
but
safe travel and
big up yourself.
And bless up and Happy New Year to
all
everyone
right.
who we did not
bless
see yesterday. And bless up Melting Pot.
As usual, Sister Anne-Marie, enough love and blessings. See you.
Blessings.
All right.
I don't want you come to me with that foolishness, You elect a prime minister, and he's a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right side of that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.